Okay, I did add us back in. Hey, look at that. Welcome to the Sunday Night Hang. I am Ben, your host, and welcome to the special 1 million and something views milestone of the Ben Coombs YouTube channel right here on YouTube. If you're new for the first time, you missed the first million, but welcome to the second million. Please subscribe. New, returning, I don't care. I expect a hello in the chat if you're able to. If you're watching on the television, you're like, how do I use my remote to talk? And it's like original texting when you just had the number pad and you're like, I need a D. Oh man, I gotta hit the 2 like 14 times to get a D. I don't know. I get it. Thumbs up though. How about that? Thumbs up again if you're able to. How do I navigate? How do I navigate with a thumbs up? I don't know. So. And joining me tonight, so far, we have the one and only Symmetry. In theory, Randy Crook said, well, I'm just going to dip into a Super Bowl party, and then I'll be on, no worries. Well, you know, things can happen. So I get it. So he's late. That's okay. Let's get to roll call, because we already got, I jumped too far. I was waiting for the Scarborough suitcase, because usually that's about a minute in. And we already have 27 watching, even better. So hello to Eddie Van Haskell. Hey, Symmetry in the chat. Wow. Okay, cool. We have Charmaine Taylor. Thank you very much. Tim Thomas. BC Rich 581. He's been drywalling rooms, hanging out with drag queens. Busy day. Jeff K is here. Octopus Ears. Keith H. Doug Santanelio. I think I did that right. Hip Metalworks, Charles 75N, Thomas Santiago. Milt T, who's enjoying snow in lovely Windsor, Ontario. He's like, dude, look what I got. He texted me photos, and I was just like, you know what? You're in Windsor. I don't care. Most of the year, it's above zero. That's like people from Vancouver Island texting you photos. Oh, we got some snow. You know what I'm talking about, Symmetry? And you're just like, yeah, shut up.
Put up with it.
I haven't seen the sun in a week, so shut up. So Terry's 3Gs, welcome, buddy, and co-host of Connects with Guitars. Somebody's texting me. Breaking getting connected. I'll be with you shortly. Right. That was 2 minutes ago. Well, you know what? It's 8:03, so that's still late. Greg H. What's up, Greg H? Did I say hello to Octopus Ears? T. Ricky is here as well. BC Rich 581. John Duchesne. I think he's cooking up something too. Bill Samuel. What's up, Bill? L&M Guitar Corner. What's up, Martin? I know it's not Lucas because his says Lucas in brackets. His account. What's up, Martin? Let's see who else we have. Absolute Mayhem. Papa Blue. My knees hurt. He has 1,000 views. Nice. Spread it out. I get it. I have over 1,000 videos. That's how I got to 1 million. It's not a lot of them have 1,000. Martin Lemaire is here. Mark Taft is here. What's up, buddy? Yeah, thanks, little brother. Thanks. Yeah. Michael Kraus. What's up, buddy? Paul McNary. Let's see. JP Page 2. Scott Brockway. He's lurking while working or something. I don't know what he's doing. Paul Leonard Ewing, Fast Eddie VH, Clive 54, hopefully still awake by the time I got to his name and roll call. Jason Bourgeois. What's up, Jason? It's a lot of vowels. I live next door to the Francophones. I don't know. There's Leo Safko. Who else? Yeah, he's tired. Clive is tired. He's tired. There's Brad Guitar Miller. Yeah, shush. He's the other one. We don't have ace, though. Shut up. You're in Tampa. Shut up. Talk to me in August when you're going, it's a little hot. It's a little humid.
Love it.
If there's no wind, you're screwed.
Air conditioning swimming pool.
Yeah. Janice is here. What's up, Janice?
Hey, Janice.
I think I hit all 34 of us, except, there's Lawrence Cash of Alaska. And there's Zach Thong. All right, where's my option for the chat? There it is. So it's an open hang tonight, folks. JP page 2. You know what? I think you're right. You were one of the first. Eddie Van Haskell was one of the first here in the chat. I'm thinking Zach Thong. Absolute Mayhem. What's up, Jamal? I think Jamal came along around the same time as Zach. I don't know. It's all been a bit of a blur. I wonder why. Could be certain lifestyle choices on air. So I end up with group hangs, and I'm like, hey, haven't I done an interview with you before? Yeah. After you've been talking to them for an hour. Awesome. So any topics open tonight, folks, that's for sure. BC Rich says he thinks he found me from a suggestion from Dave's World of Fun Stuff. That's plausible.
I found Ben from Pete Thorne, who I found from Rick Beato.
Nice. What's up, Gurr? Oh. Just bam, 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 bam. Randy is muted.
Yep.
Randy, unmute yourself. This is just like your last appearance. Oh, and then he's gone.
Happy 1 million views! Yeah!
What's up, Chris?
All right. Cheers to Ben. 1 million views. I got the bubbly.
Ooh.
Let's go. Cheers, boys. All right. Guess what I'm using?
Gee, I want a little secret sauce. Yep.
Secret sauce. Lick it up. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Peace out.
That was like a Canadian version of a Quentin drive-by. There's less flesh and much nicer. Watchman for you. What's up, buddy? Edwin Crane. All kinds of names in here tonight. That's why I had a feeling there'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna dip in, say hello. I'm like, all right, like Chris did, and Randy tried. We'll see. I expect him to try at least 3 more times. Oh, and there's the message from Chris. All right, well, there we go. Oh, and look at that. I see Randy's in the green room, but it says device is not connected, so we'll just give that a minute.
Still working out the bugs.
Yeah, I agree, Terry. Chris came in true Richie fashion. Yeah, see, I can't even allow Randy in, apparently. They will need to connect their mic and or cam before you can add them to the stream. So Randy's probably disconnecting, reconnecting cables, cursing, I'm sure. All right. Mark, should we do that? I guess we should do an on-air. I had one just before, but why not? I don't know why I do that, Symmetry. It's like we hook up. I'm like, we go live in 10 minutes. We're going to probably partake. Hey, let's partake.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. For Ben's 2 million views celebration, he's going to do it all in claymation. That'd be awesome with some kind of filter you could just put on your live stream that would, it's the cartoon stream.
Reflecting a little, a good part of my life has been moments of let's smoke a joint and do this. And then when we get it done, we'll smoke a joint.
Yep. It all depends on the strain I used to have, because before it was legal, you didn't really have variety. You just had weed. And certain strains I pick up, I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I accomplish everything I need to do today before partaking in that. Because once I partake in that, I'll be lucky to feed myself.
The pungent indica, right?
Yes. And so that I get. But then, now, dude, I haven't had the heart to tell, our brother Ben Tom, who speedy recovery. He's in a rehab facility now, folks. So the market has really bottomed out because let's say the year was, because my age, the year was 1993, Symmetry. You'd be in a bar. You find out the guy's got some weed for sale, right? It was $15 for a gram, 2 for $25. That was in a bar, right?
Yeah.
And you hope they weren't .8s.
Right. Yeah.
What's up, Randy?
Can you hear me?
Yes!
Oh, cool.
All right, so I'm just telling this story, Randy. You'll appreciate this, I think. So it used to be in bars in the early 90s, $15 for a gram because they're really pushing it, 2 for $25. And the guy's paying $10 a gram or whatever. So whatever. The last time I went to pick up, I can now buy an ounce of weed for $25.
Wow.
I
know. I'm like, what?
I haven't been able to do that since the 70s.
This is what I'm
And
saying.
I think it was a half an ounce at that point for 25.
And it's not bad stuff. This is what I'm saying. Like stuff I have, it's 3 ounces for $100, which unto itself is ridiculous.
Must be
No
a little
kidding.
different there in Ontario, because in BC it's still pretty. I guess it's provincial, as is liquor.
Well, yeah, but I'm buying it on the res, and they're making their own rules. You go to the other places, and it's still your $60 quads and stuff.
You pop into the government shops around the city, and it's terrible. I never.
Yeah, it's
you're
classic street prices. Yeah, it's like $60 for
from one to the other, and they have a lot of competition, and they still appreciate the artesianness of it. These guys are trying to make something good to make people go, wow. Whereas the government ops are just
Thomas. Thank you very much, my friend.
Cheers, Thomas.
Appreciate it.
Thomas
Santiago.
Ben. Hey, Symmetry.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Sorry,
man.
I just walked in the door and started messing with this stuff, so I got to go get a
That's
drink.
okay. Yeah, when you watch on replay, Randy, I threw you under the bus long before you joined us.
Oh, I heard it. It's just
okay.
I couldn't remember.
Mister, I'm just going to dip into the Super Bowl party. Yeah, okay. We'll see if you're on time.
Yeah. Well, I was here on time. It's just I couldn't get things working here. But I need to get a drink and I need to get my sax.
Okay. Fruitcake.
So I'll be back in a minute.
Tinkerbell, cheers. Welcome to
Tink,
the show.
Tony, Gear Junkie 35. Oh, wow. Gear Gunky. Yep. All right. Let's just clear the chamber and see if that helps.
Well, he's doing that. You're doing that. I'm going to grab a beverage as well.
You do that. Gear Junkie 35 has been putting the comments on like every video on my channel over the last month. The 1 million view march, Randy Crooks as well, who's not here to defend himself. Charles 75N, he's been watching them, and I know others as well. But Gear Junkie 35, which I want to check out his channel, and I'm not just saying that because he did what he. Well, I am saying it as a thank you. But Gear Junkie 35 has a really cool channel. He's bought a crap ton of gear over the last month, and year, 2 years, I don't know. I just played the sax, so bear with me. Time frames. So maybe one of the mod squad could put a link to Gear Junkie 35's channel in, because like he's got her going before I even log into the inner Google in a day. All of a sudden it's like, oh, you got like 14 notifications, and it's like 1 million view march, and I love that guitar, or that's a cool pedal, like comments, and I was like, oh wow, okay, thanks, buddy, I appreciate it. So like he alone was bringing the channel back to what the views were a year ago when I had a lot more people watching the demos, or 2 years ago, I should say. So appreciate it, buddy. And Charles 75N, thank you. Fill the coffers, folks. This is worth it, and then some. Well, I try. We're going to be continuing on the series. The next thing, we'll talk. What the hell? It's my 1 million view show. We'll talk about me a bit. The series of putting this, adding. So, thank you, Mayhem. Like if I play an F chord, that's what I'm saying. It's just there's nothing here. It's here, and not here. But excuse me. So I'm going to
Charles
go.
decided on the pattern for that body yet?
Yep. We're not showing it off till it's done.
Oh, I know. Just curious.
No, actually, the first time people will see the pattern is when I unbox the body. That my unboxing video. And then Charles, we discussed this, so we'll see. Charles is still going to shoot a whole series of videos on doing the body, but he's not going to start releasing those until I do the unboxing. And then it'll be like, let's say I unbox it on a Monday, and then he'll probably start either that day or the next day, start releasing videos in the series.
Awesome.
So I figure we'll try building suspense. So everyone should check out Charles 75N's channel. Come on. We got 47 people watching, which tells me that's the core. That's, you guys are probably already checking out Charles's channel, because you're the type of folks that you're like, hey, Ben says they're pretty cool. Let's at least give it a gander, at the very least. And if you dig what I'm doing, you're going to dig what Charles is doing. And, Charles has been on, wasn't Charles on last week? Was that last week?
I think it was the week before.
All right, who did I have on last week?
I watched.
Yeah, and apparently I did it. What's up, Dave Dennis? Symmetry? Did I not have Charles on last week?
I believe you did.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Now, who I had on the week before that?
Call out for this show coming up too at the end of the show. So visually.
Oh, and speaking of Charles squared. That's right. Sleazer was last week. That's right. Thanks, guys. Matt and Dan. Charles was the week before that.
That's right. The two guys. It was a good one.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah, Matt and Dan. Very cool. Dang it. Where was it? Oh, yeah, next week. Speaking of Charles's, we have Charles Green coming back for part 2 of the whole hanging out on this. That. Oh. Like, come on, right? Like, when the only thing is, and I never wanted to try, when Charles is talking about stories and it's all about first names, and all of a sudden you have to go, and who is the last, you have to put the last names to, and you're I'm doing that in my head while I'm listening, and all of a sudden oh yeah, but that's how close he was hanging out with all those cats. Papa Blue says, what color? It's fabric. It's more than one color. It's all the colors. We used all the colors in this one.
So I have to let you know here, I'm on a little bit of a delay here. On
That's
both
okay, Randy.
Sprint, whatever that is.
Bit of latency.
Yeah, so I'm just slightly behind. So it's looking a little weird for me.
You do look a little bit Mars Camish on my screen as well. Coming in from the Mars rover, we got Randy Crooks.
That's awesome.
Not
I always
terribly,
wanted to go to Mars.
Oh, yeah. And the week after next, is that how you say it? In 2 weeks, we got Martin from L&M Guitar Corner, and possibly Lucas. I don't know for sure on Lucas, but we have Martin from L&M Guitar Corner coming on, which is going to be all kinds of awesome. And I was like, do you want me to try easing the show early, at least an hour or two to help a fella out? And he's like, no, we're doing it at the regular time. All right.
Well, you can plan ahead for that.
Exactly.
Get extra sleep.
Yeah, Operation Take a Nap. That's for sure.
You're in Europe, right?
Austria, yes. Last time I checked, it's still part of Europe.
Oh, you're right, Magic Man. I got it up in the corner.
Okay, so here's the last guitar I purchased.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
The Hofner.
Yeah.
Don't take out your camera now.
Now, look at this. Look how thin that is. It's 1 1/4 inches thick.
Wafer thin.
Yeah. But it still sounds really good.
What's up, Ian? Ian's Guitar Shack. Or Ian. Or Christopher. Hello, Christopher. And Greta Zeppelin.
Cheers.
So I'm considering buying a telly body and a telly neck and having a friend of mine put together a Terry Kath type guitar with the Strat bridge on it and flipping it around. I can't see it doing it to any ones that I already have finished.
Sure. I get it. Why not? You're a big Terry Kath fan. Makes sense. And I don't think you're going to want to pay what Fender's charging for their version. So go for it.
Oh, no, not for that.
My knees hurt, hates gold on guitars. Meh. I don't mind on certain guitars.
A little hint in the inlay.
Nice.
That's the only real gold. Well, I guess aside from some of the first, but right. I guess it's supposed to match that.
You know, I think on some of those blonde natural finishes with no paint or stain, like the Sheridan I had, that had gold hardware on it, and it looked great on that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get into the painted stuff, I think is where it gets a little off.
Hey, Hobo Roadie. EC Rich loves an Explorer. I need to get an Explorer. I can't remember if I like them or not. And I figure I can't just play one in a store. You gotta own one and either enjoy it or regret it. That's what I figured you got to do. You know, spend enough time. And yeah, apparently PTM Guitars. Randy doesn't want a custom shop Fender. More on PTM Guitars tomorrow night. Special guest star on Connects with Guitars. Chief Bottle Washer of PTM Guitars with a big announcement and a giveaway even.
Wow.
Both, why don't you?
I doubt they're giving away that Terry Kath guitar.
No. But we're giving away several, because it's more than one. So plural, at least, of what is in here. Just saying. Gotta tune in tomorrow night.
Love that slogan. Pedal to the
Chris, have you been touching the sax? I think you have. Yeah. All right. Okay, so this one says giveaway on it. Yep. All right. Oh, yeah. Because I asked them, it's like there's more than one. Oh, apparently one is for me. So I can show it off then. All right.
Perfect.
Only had this for I don't know how long. Apparently one's for me. I've had a prototype of one of these for quite some time, I think. Oh, there it is. A pedal to the metal fret rocker.
Awesome.
It's got the decal that you can put on there too. To update the old one if you want. You already sent me one of these and I didn't use it. All right, so yeah, it's got what's that in 64ths? I don't know. Millimeters? Doesn't say. See, Brad, there's one thing, like numbers are okay, but we need a point of reference. You know, are those millimeters, 64ths, thousandths? I don't know. 16ths? I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. You need an indicator at some point. Does it have it on this? Nope. So it's a given. I don't know what it is. It's a measurement. It's millimeters. Well, there you are. Okay, so action people look for about 1.5 millimeters, and I only know that, Randy Crooks. I only know that because I was watching a repair video. Wrapped up about an hour ago. Do the math, and he had mentioned the action, and I always measure it in 64ths, 4/64ths. He goes, well, that's 4/64ths or something, blah, 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 thousandths or 1.5 millimeter. I'm like, oh, 1.5 millimeter. I should file that number away somewhere just in case I need it. Guess when I needed it? Right now. Amazing how that works in life.
Well, as you say, karma is real. So
see, I knew. Yeah. See, there's the other one. See, I have. See, I didn't put it on because I didn't trust me putting it on to keep it calibrated. Like, does it go right to the edge? What happens if it's not quite at the edge? You know, it smudges up a millimeter. Well, then it's off, or a thousandth or whatever. Then it's not accurate. So I just use the fret rocker for rocking, and then I got one of those credit card multiple things with gauges, and well, I guess it's a ruler would be the technical term, if you will. I use it. What's up, Dylan? You can see my friend Dylan. He works for my favorite American retailer, Flipside Music. flipsidemusic.com, just saying.
So what's YouTube going to do for you? Are they going to send you out a little plaque or anything?
Oh, hell no.
Reviews?
I don't think that's a milestone. Just a person.
No. I think it takes 1 million views just to become a viral video these days,
Oh, maybe it's just they only do it for subscribers then.
Oh, yeah. Subscribers, I think you get a plaque for 100,000 and another one at 1 million. I
guess I don't know.
Isn't it a bronze, silver, gold thing?
Something like that. I don't know if anyone's hit 10 million. Maybe.
Mine hurt. We got Buffalo Trace, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Oh, I just have Captain Morgan's rum.
That's nice too.
I have Coca-Cola because I'm still on the wagon.
Coffee cup.
But that's okay.
Put up a
I don't judge. I just simply ran out of booze and didn't bother buying more.
So no particular reason.
More glass saxophone.
Not really, because that was the thing. I never really drank. I never drank outside of on YouTube, so it's not something I really miss. Like, I think I had 3 beers last summer away from YouTube, because usually it's like, oh, I gotta do something later. I don't feel like having a beer during the day and then doing something later. Much like the weed conversation earlier in the show. Since tomorrow is Valentine's Day, Mayhem says, what's the best and worst rock love ballad?
Oh, and you can
I can answer both of that with the same song. The best and worst. Fucking
yeah,
November
going back
Rain.
to Ian's Guitar Shack comments, where he said Chicago died when Terry Kath did. He was the heart and soul of that band, and that was when they died for me. After that, they just became another
Easy listening.
Yeah, exactly. Power ballad central.
Then it was all about Peter Cetera.
And then they lost their experimental side. They just lost it.
Oh, and then I think it was essentially, didn't they have like basically David Foster writing all their music for him?
Oh yeah.
Or someone like that?
No, David Foster for their second
everybody's.
comeback. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just thought that really sucked.
I would think Nazareth Love Hurts. Kind of along the same lines, but November Rain is such a quintessential
Just different generations, right?
breakup, get together song. I mean, it really works both ways. Good call, man.
No, portion some sugar on me doesn't count. No.
Or who did Love Stings? Yeah.
Oh,
Jay
that's
Giles
Jay
Band.
Giles Band.
There's a classic.
That was a great song.
Right? Jay Giles did a lot of good songs.
Ooh, for Canadian kind of Just Between You and Me. I didn't mind Just Between You and Me. It was sappy. It had the verse in French. You know, why not?
Then there was Harlequin, which was kind of like April Wine, but just a little bit heavier.
It was like West Coast April Wine,
Yeah.
where it lost a little something going over the Rockies. They just, yeah. Harlequin was all right, but yeah, they definitely weren't April Wine, that's for sure.
My earlier concerts were all like Street Heart, All De Nova, Head Pins, all that.
Nice.
A lot of Canadian content. Kind of.
Yes, you're very lucky. I remember by the time I was getting to concert age, like when I'd say towards the late 90s, when we started seeing those bands, reforming for the retro shows, the classic rock festivals and concerts and stuff. And those were the acts like we would book at our local theater because they're safe, right? It's an older crowd. It's cool. I remember for a long time I wanted to see Chilliwack because I heard they were playing again. And then, so I started following Bill Henderson on social media. And this is like 10 plus years ago. And he's like, yeah, I don't play east of the Rockies. Like, I just play in and around, the mainland, and I'll do a tour of the island or something like that. That's it. I'm like, well, what are you going to do? And then all of a sudden you find out, hey, Chilliwack's playing in Peterborough. I'm like, fuck, I am going there. Hell or high water, I'm going to go see Chilliwack play. And I got to meet them afterwards, and it was awesome. But that was one of those things. I didn't think I'd ever see Chilliwack live. And then all of a sudden it happened. Same as the band Rusty. They broke up in the 90s, and all of a sudden when they reformed, literally one of their first shows back, Buddy's band was opening for them. He's like, hey, we're opening for Rusty. I'm like, I will be there. Would you like me to be your tech, roadie? What do you need? I need to be there. We have tickets for sale. I'm like, even better. I'll buy a ticket. Trying to stay saw Chilliwack in Chilliwack. That it doesn't get much more Canadian than that.
Well, I told you I had my Canadian experience in Hawaii with Loverboy and April Wine.
That would be cool. I want that Canadian experience, and I'm Canadian.
And possibly Triumph. I can't remember where I saw Triumph at.
Triumph is awesome. They just did a thing, right?
I don't know. Were either of you in China Mike's live chat today?
I wasn't.
Okay. Well, those who were in the chat, I had to lay it. So China Mike was showing a video of a demo he had done for 42 Gear Street. And in the back, Glenn Fricker is getting a massage. Okay. Like, they have a massage table there, so I'm like, that's cool. See, you say the R word, and Mark Taft is around, he's like, what? What? Just throw that up on the screen there. Gotta watch. Yeah, so in the background, you see Glenn's getting a rub down for whatever reason. And somebody mentions it in the chat, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh dear Lord. And I look up, and I'm like, yeah, you can tell Glenn's Canadian. Just look how pasty white he is. Next thing you know, China Mike throws that up on the screen. I'm just like, it's true though. And he had the farmer tan. Like, from here down, he was, normal. Here up, white as the northern snow. True. Dang. Now that's a all Canadian. Was that Canada Day? Trooper, Bachman Turner Overdrive, Kim Mitchell, and Lee Aaron.
Mel Queen.
Yep.
Whose real name is Karen, and she's actually doing jazz in the longest time, right?
I think she's back to rock now. I think I saw that, but it was like right before COVID. She had played, it seems like a lot of, and I mentioned it on a show before, it seems like a lot of people of that generation are like, you know what? They want to hear the hits. They'll add a zero to the paycheck. It's like they'll add a zero to the paycheck if we reform the band and play the hits. So a lot of people are putting any egos aside because, it's like Canadian music scene. A lot of these people, like, they just live in like normal homes. They don't have mansions, and we're talking the rock stars. Like, there was no money in the Canadian music scene. Like, You would tour Canada. Hey, we broke even.
To compare with the CFL versus NFL.
Exactly. So it's just like, well, you figure one-tenth the population. So a hit in Canada is going to be 1/10 the revenue. So instead of making $10 million off that big hit, you made $1 million.
But those shows were never lacking 1/10 in effort.
No.
Time at those shows. And I would rather spend $50 to go see Lee Aaron than I was looking Slipknot's coming to town. $300 to get on the floor for Slipknot. Fuck off. No.
Dude, that was
a ride to get down there, which from where I'm at, we're better off getting a team together and taking a limo. And you get hors d'oeuvres and beverages for the evening. I mean, yeah, no, not going to happen.
Hey, Travis. Blackjack guitar. Yeah, it's like I haven't gone to a lot of major, like we'll call it A-list concerts or events, in arenas, stadium, what have you, outside of some festivals, and even then different. But I remember like when I went to see Tom Petty, and I'm glad I did as a result. And the whole thing was concerts were getting out of hand price-wise, but I had heard Joe Walsh was opening for Tom Petty. I'm like, yes, sign me up. That I will pay for, because that's a 2-for-1 deal. Because you would pay good money to see either one. Sup, Ricky Compton. So we leave it to Richie's girlfriend at the time to get the tickets. And I told her, you need to get them on this side so we can check out Mike Campbell and Tom and, check out gear. She gets the opposite side. And Joe's not opening because the Eagles picked up a 6-show run. So he begged off the Canadian part of the tour. And they brought in, actually, Peter Wolf, singer from Jay Giles' band, ironically enough. So that was cool, but kind of split. But that was like, we weren't even on the floor, and it was $200 with service charges and everything. And then I show up, and it's the first concert I've been to in like 20 years, and all of a sudden it's like there's metal detectors and pat downs. I'm like, what? It used to be maybe a bit of a frisk at a show, but
yeah, but they weren't looking for weapons at that time. They're looking for weed.
Well, that and they're looking for weed at that time because it still wasn't legal, and you can't smoke it inside anyways. I think that was 2017. My knees hurt. Yes, would have been, because ironically it was my dad's 70th birthday. It was the same day as the show, and to show what a rockin' summer it was, we're walking around downtown killing time for the show. We run into some buddies from another local band. I'm like, hey, you guys in town to see the concert? And they're like, yeah, pretty stoked. I'm like, yeah, Tom Petty, eh? And they're like, no, because we're going to see Tom Petty at what was then Air Canada Centre, so the hockey rink. And they're like, no, we're seeing Iron Maiden at the Skydome. I'm like, really? And the Honda Indy was the same weekend. I was like, there's a lot of shit going on today, like in Toronto. Like, yeah, Iron Maiden playing at one major venue, Tom Petty at another. You got the IndyCar race going on. Like, we just, because it was funny too, because by the time we got the tickets, Rich's girlfriend's like, should we look for a hotel room for the night? I was like, well, no. She's like, why? I'm like, you can't get one because the concert's in a couple of months. She's like, yeah. I'm like, IndyCar race is already there. So I'm like, right there, that's going to take out all the hotel rooms. And I didn't even know Maiden was playing.
Yeah, I guess IndyCar racing, that doesn't bring the same type of crowd as NASCAR.
No. Especially in a Canadian venue. I've been to the Indies in Vancouver when we had them.
Yeah.
And,
no, different crowd. And that's the cool thing about it is and that's why you can do multi things like that, because there's very little bleed over. Like, other than someone like myself, and you figure, all right, in the chat, we got 43 watching. Like, how many are gearheads as well as, music fans? So it's like, it'd just be a happy boat. It was just cool walking around, and I'm just hearing them doing practice, and I can just hear them running, and I'm just grinning ear to ear. And Richie turns and is like, you are loving this, aren't you? I'm like, hell yes. I'm like, that's the kind of traffic I like to hear.
Yeah. The event really drew a lot of people not related to motorsports. The general public really embraced it, and people just wanted to go and check out the experience. And it was quite the experience, you know, walking the paddock and watching
Exactly.
races.
I never attended because, for the simple reason that it's a street course race. Like, I don't want to sit there and go and wait a minute, you know, for my driver to go by. There's no, because they didn't have the big screens a lot when I was wanting to go races and stuff like that. So my uncle always ended up in the pits somehow. He was into motorcycles. He's a well-known motorcycle racer in the 80s and 70s. And so he'd always tell me, because I'd go up and hang out at his place late August, like a week or two after. He goes, yeah, I was talking to Mario Andretti last week. I'm like, you're a dick. Like, Mario Andretti, really? Mario, he's like, yeah, it was awesome. He's talking about the IndyCar. He's like, yeah, at that time in the 80s, they were running active suspension, and they'd have a little straw that stuck out of the nose cone. He's like, you wouldn't believe how active they are. I'm like, well, you can see them pull out of the pits, and you see the car lowering and blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, I blew on it, and the car moved. I went, that is cool. I would not expect that.
Very cool.
The closest racing I've ever went to see, I went to see a couple of sprint car races down in Knoxville.
Well, imagine that, you know, being in Iowa. That you know what? That's honest and that's awesome. And what'd you think? They're crazy, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in 5 yard, or I don't know, 20 laps, 25 laps. I think we were running something like that. Wetting down the track, and the crowd all muddy. Yeah. I really didn't enjoy it that much. It was too loud, and there was no melody to it, you know?
Well, and that's the thing with sprint cars, and I've said it to my cousin a lot, because I'm hit and miss on sprint cars. Again, I'd rather watch on TV for the simple reason that, like you say, a 25-lap feature sprint car race, and these cars weigh about 1,600 pounds and have 900 horsepower. Just saying. That race can happen.
Keep their wheels on the ground.
Yeah, and that race can either take an hour or 12 minutes, depending on cautions. And that's the thing. If there's a caution, they all got to stop, but they don't have transmissions. It's a hassle. You got to get push cars, get them all going again. But man, if those things run flag to flag green, you're just like, what the hell did I just witness? That was 12 minutes of just and just chaos and dirt's flying and they're sideways, and they're most of the time all four wheels on the ground, but not necessarily. And then, it's something to witness.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, BC Rich. I remember Nazareth. That was a cool track. It was an odd shaped track. It was very cool.
Yeah, as far as cars, they were just a vehicle to get me from one place to the other. I didn't get big into that. Now, my brother did. My brother loved that stuff, but I just didn't get it.
I was one of those things, if I can get there in 8 minutes, how can I get there in 7? And then when that happens, how do I get there in 6?
See, my brother was always the guy to see how fast he could go from a stop to get to the speed limit. He didn't try to push.
I like Travis's comment. I have a crew of guitars. I like that. I dig that.
Alan's Guitar Channel. It's
Edwin Crane used to race a 73 Cutlass on a local track. That's cool. That's cool. That's a street stocker. I love it. Our first race car was a 75 Chevelle. So, same chassis. But anything guitar related, or I could post that again. This is open if folks want to join on in.
I do have a couple of guitars that haven't been shown yet.
Oh,
beauty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've seen pictures of them, of course, but
Oh, that's nice.
okay. It's Fender Showmaster.
Mm-hmm.
And made overseas. 24 fret. Apparently, when they were trying to compete with the super strap market. This is what Fender did. 24 frets. Has Seymour Duncan single coils in it.
Nice. Oh. So apparently a fella saw the link. So a fella decided to jump on in.
Hey,
What's
Charles.
up, buddy?
No sound.
Uh-oh. Your mic's not working, Charles. You have no mic. Oh, he's looking. He's got a mouse in hand, folks.
He's on it.
Why? It's all live. It's all live, and we're clearly not professionals, and that's fine.
Muted, not muted, but still no sound. You're set to the wrong microphone.
Yeah. Check input device on stream in StreamYard. All right. He gives the thumbs up. So, hey, Mark Dillon. What's up, buddy? Another guy who's an OG with the channel.
Right on. 1 million.
1 million views. I wonder if we're going to get tagged for having that as my... Probably not, because people are still joining in. They're following. Oh,
Well,
we
then
lost
you would know you're getting bigger.
Well,
I mean,
you don't have a
you're
bald
40.
head.
Hey, Casey. Welcome. I do not. No. And for those who don't know, see, look at that.
So can't really be a trademark infringement.
No, but the thumbnail is not me.
Oh,
Clip from the movie.
Wish he'd let the hair down for once.
Mike Myers is Canadian. He'll let it go, right?
Exactly. I fixed his computer once, so
He'll remember. For sure.
yeah, I'm sure it was 20 years ago.
Not every day.
No.
Meeting Ben Coombs.
So
Can you hear me now?
yes.
a fella figured out how to turn his microphone on.
It is the weirdest thing. StreamYard does stuff. It turns off your microphone. You have to turn it back on.
Or mine will just ring like, oh, you want to use the webcam in your computer, don't you?
Yeah.
No.
Well, there is absolutely no way that I could let this go by without saying congrats, Ben.
Thank you. Oh, she knows. Thank you very much. Yeah, you've seen all the videos, so
And then some.
you win some.
Well, I can't say that
I
I've seen
don't-
all of them. There have been times where I put it on autoplay and I'll select a long one and leave for the day.
Nice. My knees hurt asks, thoughts on the $200 Kramer Beretta? I dig it. No, I dig them. For $200.
I am
Hey.
definitely gaining an appreciation.
If it can just hold itself in tune remotely, that's all a fella asks at that price point.
Now, does that the one with the single pickup?
Yes, it is.
And
Well,
does it only have one pot, just a single volume?
I
Yeah,
think so.
one pot.
Oh, so apparently I'll have to drill a hole in it. Because the wiring harness somebody ordered has both a volume pot and a kill switch.
Yeah, it definitely has one pot. One
Great.
pot,
So I
one
just get to
volume.
ruin the finish that you do. I'm just going, a fella's just going to try kind of hope for the best. And you're going, really?
Now,
Really?
the good news is the electronics cavity has plenty of room.
Well, see, this is what, it was just killing me last night. Steve from Boston, he's playing his Beretta special. And he's like, yeah, $200 and play it. And he's like, just giving her. And I'm like, I want to put one together so bad. And I was like, I almost texted you going, I hope you're working on that guitar. Because
Well,
I
did today, if you look behind me.
Well, we're not showing anything off. Remember? Yeah. A fellas needs to be keeping that under wraps until we do the big reveal.
I was just naked.
Oh, okay. I can't tell because I'm blind as a bat. So,
Oh, here, see?
fella's going to have to zoom you in. Oh, well, there it is. I'll
That's
be
great.
dipped.
Just naked.
Okay. Well, we can show that off. I forgot how non-strat shaped that body is. My Focus still has largely that classic Stratty silhouette, whereas those ones, She's got some implants in a couple of spots. She's a
Yeah.
little curvier.
She is stratty in the horns, but curvier in other places.
Yeah, baby's got back. Casey Lee says, my Wolfie special has one pot. I'm good. Yeah, I'm just thinking if I'm going to use this wiring harness kit thing, that means I'm trying not to modify, like, hey, I get a wiring harness in the mail where I can just into the guitar. And then I forgot that it's got the old barrel style jack. And I'm like, oh, I hope Charles doesn't use all the glue in there and just takes down that circumference a little too much. So a fella's got to hog her out, and just starts. We won't go until we start seeing threads. I don't know.
Well, that is the thing with doing the fabric top. It does put a little extra.
It does. I'm like, how deep is Charles going to go? He's going to leave a fella some room? We'll see. More to come, folks. It's all part. I told Unbelievable. I figure I got another 5 to 8 videos left in this series, depending on how much cursing is involved. If all goes smooth, I think I can do it in 5, but I'm thinking it could go as many as 8.
Well, that's not so bad.
Well, 8 means I brought in help at that point. Because we know Travis is relocating to the area March 1st. Then it takes, 4 days to drive across Canada. 5 if he's driving a truck and trailer. I don't know. It takes a while is what I'm saying. It's going to take him a while to get here. So hopefully we won't be showing up with a fabric top. Kramer going, dude, help.
Did you do a FaceTime on... Sorry.
Hello. You just tell me he made his YouTube debut. 52 people watching.
Yeah.
That'll be son number 1. Oh, to be in Charles's world.
I tell you,
I'm on with my cool friends. Go away.
I was going to offer to put that second hole in it, but I'm thinking it might be more entertaining not to.
Yeah, because to do it the right way would be to drill it, with a bare body. But do we want to do it the right way?
I don't know. You let me know.
Oh, all right. I'll talk with. Well, I haven't seen the Unbelievable one. He said he was going to dip in. Maybe he's lurking. I don't know. Like Jay Steen. Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
She
rich.
I don't know.
Sure.
So I'll talk to him and I'll leave that up to him because he'll be like, I want you to suffer. I'm like, yeah, you're a dick. Yeah, fine. So, yeah. I don't know. Still got a big ass pile of bubble wrap right next to off the camera here, eh? Like seriously, it's like the size of a beanbag chair of bubble wrap.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit myself.
Oh, I bet you do. Well, great. Yeah, and you're gonna send all. Oh man, I'm gonna have like a refrigerator size pile. Oh, great. I'm going to have all the bubble wrap after this. Well, there's going to be a video involved in that. Maybe we'll box up a bunch of delicate stuff and drop it off to Amanda's at 2 a.m.
There you go. My knees hurt. It's not made from raw lumber. I just got done stripping it. It was white.
What if I used all the bubble wrap for a pedal this size? Like you wouldn't even see the pedal inside. Like you just be pulling it layer upon layer. There's nothing there. You're like, I don't think there's anything in here.
Similar to one of those people that obsessively pop the bubble wrap.
Oh yeah, but that's industrial bubble wrap. I bet you that sounds like a cannon going off. It's not that little. Yeah, it's. Oh yeah, they did it the right way. I don't know who packed that. Oh, some guy in a red t-shirt. Some guy in a red t-shirt shrugging.
Hey, I know that guy.
Don't
Hey,
the red
Terry.
uniforms always get killed in the episode?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Terry to come on one time, and he's just going to do the total, like, Troy McClure, like, hi, you might recognize me from such shows as Canucks with Guitars.
Well, I was trying not to come on because I was hoping more people would come on. And I said,
Well, yeah, I don't mind having a big old shit show. You know, when we get into the Brady Bunch situation, I just kind of hang back because there's, you know, but this is good. This is good.
I was hanging back.
So,
besides, I can always kick Charles out. It's no big deal.
That's true.
So
I
in
was just
celebration,
thought it doesn't matter.
I was just going to say, so in celebration of 1 million,
Yeah.
a little
yeah.
A little Molo Citrus wearing the Canucks with Guitars.
Nice. Nice. What's up, James Severin? Well, apparently we have another Las Vegas situation. I don't know. People? No, nobody needs to see your website.
Interesting.
Nobody cares.
Does
Nobody
it actually
cares.
work? I mean, does anyone ever really go? I mean,
Well, that's the stupid thing about it is they put that in there and they forget actually the HTML. So the stupid thing is it's in the side chat there, but it's actually not linkable because they don't actually put the HTTP thing in front of it.
I think it will work. It's hidden. I think it will work. It's hidden, but that part of it is then they're doing some backtracking information on those who click it from the moment you click it. It's a multi-domain URL.
But now you just told me
Oh,
you didn't
no
know that.
way. Hang on. Now the party's going to get started.
all right.
You ready for this, folks?
Right. Is that gone?
What's up, Zach?
Oh, hey, Zach. Oh, nice.
Awesome. Awesome. Brother. Brother.
Dang it. I think I clogged this thing. We have an echo. I'm not saying it's Zach. But I think it's Zach.
Not saying it's Zach. Not saying it's Zach.
It's always funny how that works out.
Oh, is there a Super Bowl on?
Oh, God.
No spoilers, but I got it on the side screen. You want to know?
See if that fixes it.
The stream's reputation.
I don't think your headphones are plugged in, Zach, because we're getting an echo.
Yeah. Oh, actually, it's gone now.
Well, it's because I muted them. See?
Oh, okay.
Process of elimination.
Oh,
Hey.
Elimination.
oh.
How about
I
now?
think we're okay. Not so much.
Test.
Maybe. We're okay.
All
That's
right.
weird.
Check one. Try saying something, Zach. What's going on?
L&M Guitar Quarter. I swear it's not because Terry joined, but I have to get back to bed. Enjoy your time, everyone. Later.
It is funny though when you join one of the things, you never know what's going to be on and what's not going to be on, even though you test them before.
Yeah.
This is true. That's why I don't care. I just roll with the punches. I'm not hearing any echo anymore, Zach. If you can hear us, you're good to go.
I hear. I can hear him.
I hear that little whiny thing I used to hear with you, Terry. Little cycle hum or something. Oh no, there's a little echo now.
Oh, I thought you might have been talking about a small ankle biting dog or something.
Oh, there's the echo, eh?
Quality entertainment, folks. That's why we got 47 people watching. What's up, Zach? Or Doug Strong? Hog Rotten? Octopus Ears, I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings.
You at least get nachos, man.
What? You're not supposed to be at Buffalo Wild Wings. You're supposed to be at the famous, always requested by reporters in the sports side of things, the Anchor Bar. Every time I watch Hockey Buzz, Mike Igello, who's from Buffalo, he always says, every sports reporter that comes into Buffalo says, let's go to the Anchor Bar for wings. And he just is like, oh.
Thank you, Quinn. Thank you.
I think we definitely have the echo back with you, Zach.
I think it would be relatively funny to have a bar in the middle of some place where there's no lake, no river, nothing, and then call it the Anchor Bar.
Make sure, Zach, that you have
Exactly.
Hang on, guys. Hey, Zach, make sure you have echo cancellation checked. It's in your audio or cam mic settings in StreamYard here. We'll see if that fixes the problem. What's up, Dwight Bailey?
I must say, interesting so far.
Dwight
Nice.
Bailey. There it is.
This is a test. This is a test of the emergency recording broadcast system.
I got a bit of that, yeah. Need the color bars to come up.
So, Ben, how does it feel to have those million views?
Hang on a sec here. Hey, Zach, I can actually edit your mic settings from here. So, I check that. We're still getting an echo. Try jumping out and jumping back in again.
Got worse. Got worse.
Let's see if it...
You know, all that screams to me? Onboard audio and why you don't friggin' use it.
I think he's using a multitude of things, though. He's got his phone going and his laptop going. Things are getting crisscrossed.
Hey, Dwight.
Dwight Bailey.
Test.
We're doing this live, folks. Bear with us. Anybody wants to come on, especially like Zach. He's been around since day one.
Zach is everywhere.
That's what I said. I thought I'd said to Janice, get on there.
Dennis is everywhere. Ben and Terry are everywhere. I mean, we have a pretty good community.
Hey, Dwight. How you doing, buddy?
Mute your speaker.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Hey, nice.
Good day.
Anybody wants to come on, especially.
Metalworks, good day, brother.
Does somebody have the playback going in the background?
Good day.
I can hear you guys fine. How you all doing?
Doing well.
Doing well.
Awesome.
Right on. Cool.
Let's see your guitar, my friend. Looks
Yeah,
pretty.
everybody needs an Explorer.
Everybody needs to explore.
Here's what you need.
That's the
I'm
one.
starting to think that. What's up, Aaron? Thank you.
That's nice. Hey, Aaron.
Awesome.
I can hear you guys fine. How you all doing?
He just climbed inside a garbage can. What happened?
Yes. Note to anybody that jumps on. Recommend headphones. If not, at least don't have the live feed playing in the background.
You got to mute the YouTube, focus on the StreamYard. But you got to still have the YouTube so that you can interact with the crowd.
It's about what a 200 millisecond delay band.
Something like
Oh,
that.
it's enough to
and I thought it was close.
Hog Rotten's having a problem with my email. Shouldn't. I used that email address to email Randy the link tonight.
Hog Rotten, take the space out between the @ sign and the G.
Well, he might be doing that so it can actually be shown in the chat. That's why he did that. I get it.
Somewhere.
But it should work.
John Justine says this is awesome.
One sec.
Hell yeah.
We got what? 2/3 Canadian here.
This is awesome.
Not bad.
This is awesome.
Well, all right. Well, Doug Strong, this is what it is. That's why I threw the link in the chat.
Community hang.
Oh, did we happen to notice? We got the new pickup for that guitar that's sitting behind Charles.
Nice.
I'm just saying.
What is that pickup?
It's a DiMarzio Super Distortion.
That ought to be good.
Yeah, nice combo.
It'll do the job.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't Canadianized the name of it, called it a medium double-double.
Well, the Canuck Bucker is just a rip-off of one of these, except they do it in double cream. Be nice if it was double cream, though.
I'll be back in a couple minutes.
All right,
Alrighty.
we'll be here.
Waiting on you. I like how the chair he was sitting on was like the back of a booth. What's up with that? That was cool.
Kind of want to open this. I have no need to open it, but it's a DiMarzio.
Well, if enough people ask.
Yeah,
Just gonna
well,
bother
yeah, I
you.
got the best of both worlds because I have the Super Distortion in the Kramer, and I got a Duncan JB in the Kramer, other Kramer. So got the bases covered for the hot pickups.
We're going to have to open it at some point anyway, so if you like doing it today, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'll just probably play with it and drop it and wreck it. And let's do that in front of a camera. Like,
It
well,
won't-
instead of live on air,
It
but,
won't be ruined. It'll just be relict.
it'll be, this guitar will be relicked before it ever gets assembled, I guarantee it.
Hey, if it's not delivered,
It'll
it's
fall off the
DiMarzio.
pad on the bench or something. I'm going to redo that. That pad's a little small, so I'm going to, for laying a guitar down flat, so I'll go back to, I don't know, somebody sent me something, and I got like 30 U.S. mail padded envelopes. Like, that's what you use for packing material around everything. So I started using those suckers as disposable pads for repairs. Like, when I first started doing repairs, it was because it was something like one of the first things I ever got sent to me. I don't remember what it was. And I was just like, jeez. And I still have a stack of them because I used them to pack pedals and stuff when I moved. I might
Took
use
the
that.
armrest off my chair, so I need something to put my arms on. That,
I get it.
Wing is an excellent armrest.
Make
Right.
sure I had a chair with the arms fold up.
A little more, perhaps.
Hey, that'll be another compliment in Aljon's hat. Feather in his cap. Explorers are good for armrests.
Oh, does anyone know DiMarzio? What is that? An Alnico 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 19,
I
52?
would assume ceramic, but
It could be ceramic. You could be right, Terry. I don't know. I don't know. I think you might be right on that. It might be a ceramic pickup. I don't know.
you said
I thought about
super
looking it up, but I
distortion.
figured, why? Let's just throw it out there and see who knows. Like, reverse Q&A. How about I ask some questions for once, and y'all come up with the answers? You got 50 of you and one of me, instead of 50 of you asking the questions, and I'm like, I don't know. Although it's not like I get a lot of questions on the Q&A show that often anymore. And towards the end, they'll come in bunches all of a sudden. It's like, oh, we want you guys to go longer. So all of a sudden, y'all wait
Back in a
an
minute.
hour and a half into a 1 hour show, and all of a sudden, oh, I got a question. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yep, I was right.
Woo, 1 million.
Ceramic, yep. John DeShane said ceramic, I think.
Ceramic Year of Introduction, 1972.
Yep. Okay.
It was born
because,
before me.
Well, the reason I was wondering was because Steve mentioned last night it's an Alnico 5 humbucker in that's what the stock Kramer pickup is. Which reminds me, I really should take it out of the bag and take all those parts off the magnets. As I think about it, and not do. Why don't you do it right now while you think of it? That's what Charles is thinking. He's like, for the love of God, Ben. Like, that can't be good for it, right? Like, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, the weird thing about the Super Distortion is it's high on bass, high on mid, and actually semi.
Should a fella have the claw
treble.
stuck to the humbucker? Is what I'm saying.
Well, you know where it is.
Oh, and you know what? Well, yeah, okay. So he was a dick. I was like, all right. So he wasn't a dick because he actually left the pickup in the pickup ring. Yeah, so you don't have to deal with that whole schmozzle. But no, he sent me another pickup, so I have to take it off and watch the springs fly across the room.
As I said, get the metal.
Thanks again,
tie
unbelievable.
Twist. Get the tie twists that you use for a garbage bag. Just run it up and through and.
Well, somebody mentioned
Splice it
straws too, but I don't see how a straw with a slit down the side is going to have enough structural integrity to
I'll
hold
be
the
right
spoon back.
Yeah.
All right, apparently Charles is deafened out as well. Oh, there we are. That was on there pretty good. Now, before we close the bag, we look for any. See, this is what I'm talking about. Any other additional hardware. So when I start remove, and there's another spring or a screw. Another screw. Jeez, all the screws are stuck.
Hog Rotten actually has a question.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess we can do Q&A. Why not? It's a question. Got a chance to get a 2020 Epiphone Firebird for $500. Should I get it?
The answer's always yes, I thought.
Yes.
Assuming you like Firebirds, yes. You want to experiment with a Firebird? You're not sure? Yes. You don't want to get a Firebird.
If it's not beaten up too much.
Wait. You don't want a Firebird. You know what? At $500, you could probably. I'm thinking it's worth $6. You know, like assuming it's in great shape.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what, Randy? What'd you just say? Buy it. You're right.
It's always yes.
No.
I thought we never discourage on this channel.
No. Hey, someone's offering me a Dane Electro for $500. No. No. No.
Just flip it.
But he says, all right, the guy is willing to go 3. Okay. He says 310. No. 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 It's got it. No. But no. No. $300. Regardless of what your currency is. 300 US, I'm being lenient for you Americans. 300 Canadian? Yep. 300 Canadians, what I think they're worth.
I don't like them. I never really have. The shape just is weird to me.
All right. So I think I
They
removed
sound
because
okay, but I've just
see,
never.
while Charles left, I pulled off like a wire fell off, and at first I thought I broke it, but then I realized no, that's just the rest of the wiring harness. And I pulled all off. Apparently, all the screws that came with the guitar were stuck to the pickup, I think.
It's a good way not to lose them.
It's a puzzle.
You're either going to lose everything or none of it.
When they're out of the bag, I recommend getting a piece of cardboard and sticking them in there in order. Great way to keep track of screws if you're not storing them.
Symmetry that is way too organized.
I used to use pieces of
You can
tape,
draw diagrams.
masking tape, just stick them all to a piece of masking tape.
Laptops.
But then I accidentally threw up masking tape with all the screws on it. Oh, that sucked hard. That sucked real hard. So I stopped doing that. And then I got a parts dish, finally. Available at that company. More on that tomorrow, folks. We'll talk about
Me too. Coming
Big
soon.
trays. I should bring that in here too. I've been trying to get all of his product line available because I think I have everything. All right.
Yeah,
So
the
let's
only
put
reason
this somewhere.
why-
Where are you? No, let's not put it next to your cellular phone. That's probably not a great idea.
The only reason why
There,
I like
we'll
Dan
put it on top
Electro
of
would
a
be
bed of
because
deckle.
of Jimmy Page.
What's what? Because of Jimmy Page?
Want a Dan Electro.
Oh, because that's my answer. I'll give this one for those who do the soldering on occasion with a dual humbucker guitar. You know, I'm not looking at the guy in the lower right at all on this. I'm just saying, if a fella accidentally, because I'm not saying a fella on occasion, pretty much every time he wires a dual humbucker situation, he gets certain wires, I don't know, crossed maybe, so you get that out of phase. All of a sudden, the volume drops right in half, and it's very plucked. And so when anyone say, "Hey, you wired it wrong," I'm like, "No, because Jimmy Page or Peter Green." Yeah, because Peter Green. You know, yeah, I gave you the Peter Green wiring, Charles. I gave you the Peter Green wiring. You know, no extra charge even. No extra charge, which means really, I don't have to go back in and fix it or figure it out. It's all three are working as intended. It's out of phase as hell, but you told him you liked it. He likes it, so because that's what I have going on with the Whitey. I notice that she's really honky unless I back off one of the pickups just a hair, and then it's like a wow effect, all blah, and then all of a sudden it totally sounds different. And well, it sounds more normal, but as soon as you dime both pickups, then it went ha, and it gets quacky, and I was like, that's different.
Happy
We'll just
little
leave that.
accidents, right?
We'll just-
Happy little accidents can make so much beautiful. Look at Kirk Hammett, Greenie, the Greenie guitar, right? That's a happy little accident that's really hard to recreate.
Yep.
Well, wasn't the tech just a little wasted and flipped the pickup around the wrong way?
Maybe a little bit overwound or crisscross wound or something like that. There's a little more to it than that, but I've heard that.
Well, you know, anyone can have their pickups in phase. That's easy.
Easy for you.
Anybody can have factory wiring,
That's right.
I
factory
do.
spec wiring.
But you got to have something unique.
Anybody that's watched this channel more than a day and a half knows I could care less about factory.
On my Sector PT Special, I've got that tap on it that puts it series and parallel.
Can we see it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that fabric top Strat, the Strat pickup that's in the neck is actually a middle pickup.
Ah. Just why not,
Oh,
right?
that's pretty.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's nice.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
action there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
have
think
a whole
I'm
new
jealous
Inspector
now.
Telecaster since going to John DeShane's and playing his American Professional. It's
But it's
Randy,
got
I
the
love
little
that.
LP
insight into the
and then
instrument.
the Tele Bridge. And then it's got the push coil for the series and parallel on it.
Beautiful.
Oh, you had me at the green.
Binding
It's
looks
a-
good too.
Aqua Burst, I think, is what they called it.
Oops, wrong one.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. Aquaburst, I mean.
1 second.
Metalworks is like, if a fella could throw the link up again, it might work this time.
And there's very little finish on this.
Baby,
So
come
it,
back.
you can feel the wood grain in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also do one in purple, too. But
Yeah, because I think his first one was actually purple.
Purple's one of those funny colors that it
Pink
can either
tones
be
and-
really nice or it can be fucking absurd.
Yeah.
There's such a range of purple.
And actually, I started thinking about this guitar when Phil did his on that PT special that he had.
The worst purple is when it looks like the California raisins, grape purple.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pretty color, pretty.
Oh, yeah.
fine.
That's a great guitar, brother. Thanks for showing it.
Oh,
my pleasure.
oh, right, because I put it in the thing. There's another one. Get him.
James.
Hey, Quentin.
Oh, jeez.
What do you got for us? It's gonna be good.
Yes, quick chase. Let's go. Me. Happy 1 million celebration to
Maybe.
Happy 1 million view celebration to you. Happy 1 million celebration views to Ben Coombs. Happy 1 million views to you. Hey, it's Quit James. See you later.
And he kept his clothes on.
And plenty more.
Cheers, Quentin. Listen, James.
Now, was that out of tune or
Yes,
was he just
cheers,
playing the
everyone.
chords?
So it was an alternate tuning.
Cheers.
Doug Strong. Well, we'll go till the top of the hour, and we'll see from there, folks. I don't know how late we'll get. I got an early. Blame my sister's work schedule. If she didn't have to work on a Monday, means I get to have more fun on a Sunday. Is what I'm saying.
Well, I don't have to go back to work till Wednesday.
Wow, must be nice.
You get 200 hours
Why
of
haven't
vacation, you
you-
got to spend it somewhere, you know?
I got to make a video between now and Wednesday, I suppose, because I got to have a video out for Wednesday. I don't know what that'll be. Not
What
a
do you
clue.
do for a living, Randy?
I'm sorry?
What do you do for a living, Randy?
Oh, I do benefit consulting for a firm that does it for companies all across the U.S.
Right on.
And then, of course, the parent corporation, they do it globally. So you could say maybe, possibly, that I'm global.
Gotta like it.
Worldwide. Oh, freaking worldwide.
Hey, we're global tonight. Just saying.
True enough.
Now you just grab the telly and you can.
Well,
repeat
brother
Billy
Aaron,
Gibbons, your
You need to pop on
nationwide-
for a minute. You got to pop on and
Oh,
at least
yeah.
say hello for a minute. You know,
Free Square is still open.
I'm just saying.
My God, Aaron, why aren't you on here?
He's a fella. He's got a story. So Hit Metalworks, welcome, my friend. First time on the channel, I believe. Again,
Yes.
I get a little foggy at times.
Yes, awesome.
Yes, indeed.
You're one of those bastards that
intro.
always rubs in the good weather.
It's been a beauty couple of days here. 10 or 11 degrees, nice and sunny. It's been awesome.
Oh, yeah. We were pushing 14 here today on the other side of the water.
Man, you bastard.
House of
Well, I
Rain.
learned from the water, too, right? I'm in Port Equipment.
That's the twain.
45
Yeah,
minutes
sure
from the
enough.
water's edge.
No, I have no complaints about this area of the island. It's excellent.
These are the
Winter is
days-
virtually non-existent.
That's why
It's
we
beauty.
put up with the other crap, the rain and the snow.
I get it. I had 3 days in a row this week above zero. And you know what? In February in Ontario, I was like, wow, that's like July. Snow's melting.
Yeah, but when you say
Oh, I
zero,
remember
that's
those
Celsius,
days.
right?
Yeah. At the
Yeah,
point of
32
freezing.
Fahrenheit for those who can't.
Yeah, 32 for us. I mean, that we could live with that all day down here. But when you get down to like the teens in Fahrenheit, and it's pushing
We
it,
spend a couple weeks
Which is
a
below
year
zero
Yeah,
for
it's
you
really
guys.
Italy.
in that zone, and it sucks because it melts and it freezes and it melts and it freezes and it makes the ice, right?
Yeah,
I'd rather be in Alberta where it's just, minus
well,
Tundra.
15 or
here where I'm at in Iowa, we've only had snow one time so far this winter that it accumulated.
Wow.
And it's been warm enough to rain, which is kind of nice, but I'm kind of thinking of March might be a bear.
Yeah, time will tell, I guess.
What's up, Max? Hey, buddy. Nice.
Just waiting for
Hey,
the old
Max.
vaporizer to heat up.
We got 51 crazy people watching, and half are on here. Hey, there we are. Look at that.
Yeah, what is that? 10 of them are on here?
Oh, I got a scroll bar now where I got all you crazies here. Who's that?
Well, the ones of us with real issues are here anyway.
It's apparently Zach's trying to reconnect. It says device is not connected. We'll see. If I see his face, we'll add him in. We'll see what happens.
So Keith
Any of
is
the
actually-
regulars, Travis, you're pretty regular. Come on. Talk gear. Talk about a million views on the channel. Sure.
Next
Throw
time
the link
you
in the crowd.
post that link, Ben, you might want to pin it so you don't have to keep posting it.
No, that way it's the active people in chat. You're there, you're there. You miss it? Well, there it went.
Yeah.
See, I learn again.
So, Ben, I got to ask you, who you picking for the 500?
Which 500? The Daytona 500, I assume?
You betcha.
I really want to see practice first. And I'm gonna have a bit of a rant about this on this week's Nest Canucks at 8 p.m. Eastern. From what I'm hearing is with the new car, most teams don't have a backup going to Daytona.
Ooh.
Whereas in years past, you always had a backup, if not an extra backup for the backup, because you usually wrecked one of your cars either in practice, qualifying, or the 150 races.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And what it sounds like Hendrick 4-car team has 2 backups. Gibbs 4-car team has 2 backups type situation, which should, in theory, get everybody to the 500, but they're barely going to have a full field. So, although, I don't know. What am I really liking this year? It could be Kyle Busch. I don't know, he's maturing more, and I'm not a Kyle Busch fan. I'm not a fan of any current drivers, come to think of it. I'd like to
He's
see
a good
Ryan Blaney
driver,
make up. I hate Penske.
Just too much attitude. He's chilling, though. He's chilling out a bit.
Yeah, I kind of like the attitude. I miss the attitude of drivers. Like, before they all went and got sanitized and vanilla-ized.
Yeah.
Keith
I'm going to
H.
punch
if
in the
you can
nose.
see him.
What was
Isn't
that,
there some
Cale
sort of
Yarborough
college
line?
to teach them how to be that
Yeah.
way now?
Yeah, it's
Cale
all about-
Yarborough or Donnie Allison.
Yeah, he went to hit my fist with his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Daytona, that's for sure. It's all 1 week. It's all because was it Super Bowl's tonight apparently, and then Speed Week starts Tuesday, and then 500's on Sunday. Whereas it used to be 3 weeks, and then it was 2 weeks, and now it's a week. But
Because I remember back in the day, there was a trifecta in Daytona where you could go to a NASCAR, a drag race, and the dirt bike thing all within a couple of weeks span.
Wow.
oh yeah, you got the 24 hours of Daytona was a couple of weeks ago. You got the 500, and then
I'm thinking
Then you
drag
got Bike Week
Have a
is
good night,
in mid-March, where the Daytona 200 is on the
Which
Sunday
I
of
always
Bike
check
Week,
out.
which
Always
includes
good race.
motocross. Plus, you got so much short track racing because that's the only open short tracks really right now. Is Florida opens up like beginning of February, so New Smyrna has been running. Like a few of the NASCAR guys are already down there with like little late models of short track cars. I've been watching Tommy Baldwin's ran their modified at New Smyrna last night. Didn't win, but started 25th, so I wouldn't expect him to win at this one. What's up, Zach? Can you hear us? I don't think Zach can hear us.
See what I see.
It's a Tinkerbell.
Cheers, Tink.
Hey, Tink.
Have a good one, brother.
Back to work. Wow.
Sure thing.
Yeah, he's all like wiring stuff, so he's got to be up in the early hours.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow. We'll
Keith H says he's in the window now. Which window? Oh, God.
Hey, Scotty.
It's
There he
Mr.
is.
Broccoli.
Now, is your camera reversed, or did I not know you're a lefty?
It's reversed, and I don't know how to flip it.
All right, because I expect nothing less with you, my friend. There's always something, and I love it. So apparently, you're a lefty tonight. I dig it.
Yeah, Scott's purposely screwing with you. He's left-handed, and he doesn't have a 1 ohm pot.
hang on,
He's got a
hang on.
2 ohm pot.
2 ohms. Yes.
All right. Now we're apparently filling up, folks. So as
Well, I
people
tell you what,
come in-
man, I can leave and make some room for somebody else.
okay. All right. Fair enough.
Please don't
But I
go.
definitely wanted to come on and say, congrats on the 1 million views and awesome channel. Wouldn't go anywhere else.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Charles. Appreciate it, buddy. What's up, Travis? Are we losing Travis due to bandwidth?
Maybe.
I think so. Yep.
Made it in yet.
Happy
I
1
have a
million,
feeling
Ben.
Travis might be Canadian, Terry, with that kind of bandwidth issue. We've got a lot of Canucks on here. All right. So Scotty's left-handed tonight, but he can hear us, and we can hear him. Awesome. Zach, can you hear us?
Yes, but we can't hear him.
But we can't hear Zach.
That's okay. Do sign language.
If you have me start sign languaging, I might create a world war or something.
My sign language is very, how do you say, not so good.
Ontario squares.
Circle gets a square.
Yeah, I miss Ontario sometimes. Not too often. Sometimes, so.
I don't know how we've done the pyramid effect, how Scott gets his own thing here.
I'm special.
Apparently.
Yeah. He's making good noise.
And are now
Yes, I will say the noodling is kind of coming through a little over the mic a little much.
Oh, okay. I'll turn it. I'll turn my 1 meg
Only
down so you can't
because
hear
there
it.
are 7 of us on screen. Yeah.
Turn it down to 3/4 of a meg.
Yeah. I'll turn the volume on the mic down. Is that better?
Well, yeah, but it's not good to noodle when we're on necessarily.
True. I saw other people noodling, so
Yeah.
I couldn't. I just wanted to say hi.
I was giving angry eyes. Scotty, and they
I can't see.
neither can I. I'm busting balls because you came on to say
I came on to say happy 1 million. And
thank you.
You've got a DiMarzio Super Distortion, and you have a Kramer, and you keep refusing the 1 meg pot that I want to send you for it because it's a perfect match. I mean, it is. And you're just like, no, I'm not having any of that.
So, Aaron, are you a supporter of the 1 meg pot or not?
If it's a Jazzmaster, sure.
But not with the super distortion.
I think that would have such shrill high end, you might even embarrass Mick Morris.
Well, see, the trick is you just
That takes
lower
some
the
doing.
pickup a little bit.
Do you expect Ben to lower a pickup?
Well, no, but I mean,
I usually do the opposite. I've had strings all of a sudden fretting out, except it's on the pickup. Because that's why I'm not allowed to have screwdrivers on stage. Because I'd be, let's just give her just a quarter turn. Just bring her up a little more.
It's like, hey Ben, you can turn your amp up. No, this is fine.
It's more. It's just more, and then all of a sudden, it frets out. Oh, Scotty's back.
BC Rich. If
All right,
this were a real Zoom meeting, someone wouldn't be wearing pants.
I'm not wearing pants.
Yep. I had to
not
show up
wearing
before
I'm going Ben here.
Albeit very comfy pants.
I'll just leave
Don't
it up
worry,
to your imagination.
Yeah, I got my pajama bottoms on, so
Don't
Gotta
worry,
be
I
comfy.
won't pull a Quentin James.
He was good tonight. He was already seated and had his guitar covering his parts.
Or on the count of 3, we all do a Quentin James.
What's up,
The
RJ?
Chink Bandit.
I just figured I'd let you see me, so if I run into you, I won't
RJ?
scare you.
Mark
You
will
guys
take
hear me?
Terry Stevens for the block.
There's a fuckload of us, ain't there?
There. Okay.
Can you hear me? I'll go out 1 second.
There's your.
How many you have in the green room, Ben?
We're good at the moment, but yeah, Keith. I'll let Keith say something here. Keith.
Oh, hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to let you see me, so if I run into you, I don't scare you.
Fair enough.
Sound good?
Well, I appreciate you stopping in, Keith.
Oh, that's cool. I'll get out of your way. I just wanted to jump in real quick and say hi to everybody.
All good, my friend.
Awesome.
All good.
Right on,
Appreciate
nice to meet you, Keith.
Okay. Huh?
Welcome, other Terry.
Yes. Hello, Terry Himes.
Well,
Billy
I'm going to
Baloney.
make a hasty retreat myself. I just wanted to pop in and say happy 1 millionth, and hey, keep on rocking, my man.
I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate it.
Nice
no
seeing you on, too.
Thank you very much.
And we will check back with you sometime later when I'm a bit more set up.
All good. All good. We'll definitely do a hang. We'll definitely
Alrighty.
do it.
Very cool. Excellent. Have a good night, boys.
Yep.
Cheers, brother.
Good night. Take care.
Cheers, my fellow Canuck.
I was
He's on
trying-
the West Coast, which is the best coast.
I was trying to figure out if you were trying to break the internet or just get everyone to boost you to like 4K resolution.
Whatever it takes, my friend. Whatever it takes.
Piggyback Coombs, that's you.
We'll just
You
use
know what?
my face. That'll break the internet.
So I've been thinking more about building the board, Aaron, and the more. Oh yeah, you FaceTime me and I missed it because I was cooking dinner.
Yeah, Friday, yeah.
Yeah, because I got an idea. All right, so most people that run a stereo board, let's say you got some drives, whatever, then we'll throw up your stereo chorus in, and that's what you're going to split off of.
If you're not going
All
to
right.
split off of like a
Or a
delay,
delay, or a reverb, what have you, but it's all post. What if, I run into, I'm going to go, I might throw my wah on the board, so it's first, and a volume pedal, and then an ABY pedal. And then from there, and do two completely different.
you're better off doing that because if you're ending up splitting off of a pedal that's digital or you have a digital pedal, then you're going to have latency anyway. So if you
And then
split
that
off
way
of,
I'm running two completely different gain circuits to each amp.
you can totally do that. Yeah, why not?
It won't sound like, do people
No.
do that versus, because most people just, you know what I mean, split a mono signal at some point.
Yeah,
Whereas
most
I'm like, let's do stereo right out of the wah type thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could totally do that. I run 2 amps at once, but I just do like a dual mono. You know what I mean?
Right.
All the way to an ABY at the end, and then I split it. But theoretically, I mean, I could split it. I could take the ABY and put it wherever the hell I want, and then just take out a 1 and go into the pedals that I want to go to 1 amp, and then take that other output and put it to the other output.
Oh, we got the echo again. Just going to mute Zach for a moment till he gets sorted. Well, I was wondering about that because it seems like most people use like a mono gain section and then go stereo from there. And then I thought, well, a fella's got a few pedals laying around. So why don't we, instead of doing one section of 3 to 4 gain stages, which is my usual modus operandi, why don't we do, 6 to 8?
You could totally do that, especially if like this amp is really good with this pedal. Well,
and because I want to use the Blues Deluxe in the B52, so I can do my more fuzz into the Fender sound as opposed to just sheer terror into the B52. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Did you finally find a fuzz pedal that you could make friends with? Two.
Hello.
Yeah, we are getting an echo again, Zach. You're getting Zach.
I'll be back.
Just one. Just two. There we go. There we go.
he's dialing in from next.
Cancellation.
He's dialing in from next to Poo Ninja on the moon.
Hey, Ben.
And it's hit the left field.
Yeah, Keith.
Cut by the
You know,
fielder.
if you start your videos and fall asleep, they're still on in the morning when you wake up. You just kind of rang all night, and you just got to go back through and hit like. Just saying, didn't do it on purpose a bunch.
A fella's not going to complain about that.
Huh?
Thanks again, Hit
I
Metalworks.
watched-
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
I did watch a bunch of them. Ones I'd already seen, probably. But it's funny how wake up 4, 5, 6 hours later and they're still going. And you're still happy. Pretty funny.
What are we going for? That.
Boy,
Is he laying out his
thinking,
pedal board in real time?
No. Well, no. Until I get
No.
in
Nope.
Carolina Reaper for one thing. Until I get one of those. We are going with the Stinger Fuzz for my muff. Because it has the added mids control. So I can use it. And somebody's Soleil Fuzz.
Nice.
That's pretty.
Isn't that my
very
Soleil
sunny.
Fuzz there?
What's that?
Isn't that my Soleil Fuzz there?
No.
Hey, you sure did a lot of videos for them. I bet you put them on the map. Every one of those videos makes you want to just go down there and check out a guitar, I swear. They're pretty cool. Really, If you were around there, and you wanted to see what was going on,
That's a
shit.
fabulous
Yeah,
story.
show all stuff. I can't believe how many fucking stuff you showed.
What's going on?
Who, me? Or
No,
Ben?
me.
No, Ben. In his
Okay.
video showing guitars at the store, he does. I don't know. Right, I bet he made a lot of business for those guys.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing I noticed. Big muff into an EC circuit. I love that sound. That's cool. That's different. Especially when I use middle pickup position
What
with
pedal
two
was that,
humbuckers.
Ben?
Because I've been doing that a lot. I'm really riding the middle a lot. So that's going on the board. May or may not put a faceplate on it. Probably not, just because.
Which one is it?
Pedal. Which is the 4-knob Vermin. That's going on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh. Yeah. So hopefully a fella can put aside all his Patreon money for a few months, because For the main drive section, I want to build around. Let me see.
This will be interesting.
I cannot show that. Definitely can't show that. But I can show this. So this is what I'm saving up for.
Oh, he's finally doing the 74 stacked.
Nice.
No, 74 Deluxe.
74 Deluxe. Yeah.
Oh crap! I know what this is. The red is the original 74.
Okay.
The green is a different gain setting, and then recalibrated. You know how he has to recalibrate based off gain because that's what he is.
The green is 1973 in October.
It's something. I can't remember. Did he say?
Did Terry get that joke? The green's just 2 months earlier.
Oh, it's an EQ that alters the mids. It's a green's lower gain, so it needs its own recipe. That's right. He did answer me in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Lawrence, so you knew it was going to be something crazy and magical.
And it uses a shared EQ. Thanks, Buzz.
When's he going to do a major?
That I don't know.
What, like 200 watts of headroom in a pedal?
Well, no, just the sound, the Richie Blackmore thing, you know.
But isn't the Richie Blackmore thing because he juiced a 200 watt Marshall?
Yeah, with a tape deck.
Yeah.
And I will say also, I am looking at photos of another, let's call it a double pedal.
Okay.
And another single distortion. And it is labeled as a distortion.
Interesting.
That sounds
Which I don't understand the name.
Tell me
Maybe
more.
someone
tell
else
me
will.
more.
Aaron probably will. What's up, Zach? Are you working now? Check 1. Check 2.
Back
We have no echo. I hope Zach can talk now because he's been working like his ass off all night trying to get on here.
Okay, I'll get out of
You
here.
just muted
I just want to say hi, okay? Hey, thanks, Ben. Thanks, everybody. Congratulations, Ben. That's a lot of freaking videos.
Nice to
That's
see
a
you.
lot of videos. Okay.
I think
tell
I'm
you
at
comment
about
for the next comment.
almost
You're all
1,150 videos.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of videos.
Good job.
That's a lot of
Really good job.
I
mean, if I lived anywhere around there, I'd be there, all the time seeing what's popping up. That's pretty cool. Or not having to because you're there. Or hauling ass because you're there. Okay, thanks, you guys. I'll catch y'all later.
Yep.
Thanks, Keith. Cheers.
Hey, next time I gotta throw a console story at you, though. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Let's see. Go here. And we'll see if we add Travis on, if he's got enough bandwidth here. He's showing off a guitar. It looks sweet.
Over.
Now he's.
Where's his camera at? The top of a loft?
I think it's a security camera.
Oh, that makes sense.
From like 2004.
Awesome. Also going on the board. I got to figure out. I don't know. Apparently. No. Yeah. Am I putting in? Why do I have a Joyo noise gate sitting here? Does that have to go on the board? No, I thought it was the EQ pedal I have to throw on the board.
I'd buy that for $1.
I'd sell it for $1.
Oh, Canadian or U.S.?
He'd do
Doesn't
that for
matter.
a 1 meg pop.
Yeah. So my $1 is actually 80 cents for you, Randy. It's easier to part with.
Did you figure out how to use the rainbow machine yet?
Does it matter?
No. I'm just curious.
I know, because until I build the board, I'm not even going to attempt to. I came up with a couple of things that I thought were cool, but I haven't decided. Am I going to use it as an always on, or is it going to be, oh, that happened? instead of a guitar solo, I'm like, I'm just going to turn on the Rainbow Machine and let it deal with the next 18 seconds.
That's hilarious.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Suppose
Yeah.
it depends on how your hands feel that night.
I mean, you can set the Rainbow Machine to basically be how Ben feels at the start of every show.
I could, especially
That's a good idea, what that would feel like.
Yeah.
Like,
When you look at
think
Ben
of
and
it- yeah, at least what I remember telling her, at least 3 occasions I remember going outside to smoke, then partaking as well, staying out there too long, my legs starting to hurt, and me thinking, oh, I just need to go inside and sit for 15 to 20 minutes and I'll be fine. Literally, the moment my ass hits a seat, I hear, and up next, when did he live? I'm like, for fuck's sakes, now I gotta fucking set up gear. And just wrecked.
yeah.
Because I didn't drive to the gig. And I'm not planning on driving back from the gig. I had certain conditions after a while.
He likes it.
I like Travis's response.
Which
Tragedy.
force spell?
Swamp net is very
Drop my
slow.
phone, bro. So sad.
Oh, do I put 2 different Rainbow Machines on, one on each side, set differently?
That would be hilarious.
Thanks, Casey. Appreciate it. All right, we do not need a noise gate anywhere near. That's been sitting there for like 2 months, thinking it's an EQ that's supposed to go on. Because what's that over there then?
I'm gonna mail you those little sticky pads so you can write yourself notes like, Ben, this is not an EQ. Please put away.
Oh no! Get this. So I found a little clear rubber thingy on the floor a
Oh,
couple
boy.
months ago. I was like, looks like the tip of a pen or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I'm one of those guys. I don't throw shit out. I'm like, there might be a use for this, so I just put it in a coaster here off camera.
Anybody else think what I thought? A clear rubber thingy
Yeah,
kind of
no.
looks like the tip of a pen.
However,
On the floor.
so I'm like, I literally grab a pedal that I had pulled off the shelf. I hadn't played it in like 6 months. Pull off the shelf. Getting ready to do the show with Nesdal the other night. I turn it over, and wouldn't you know, it's got clear feet on the bottom, recessed over the screws, and one's missing. And I'm like, that's what that thing is I found 2 months ago. Yes.
It's a foot to a pedal.
Karma.
I love it. I thought you were trying to relive your
We're all
20s.
pack rats because you saved
No. I'd rather not relive my 20s, come to think of it. I worked in a cubicle all through my 20s, pretty much.
Yeah, probably not the spot for you.
No.
But if they let you bring your glass sacks to work, it would have been worth it.
Get it right. Well, I'll say it for Ben. Hello, welcome to Dell Tech Support. My name's Jabib.
Oh, God. No, literally, it was welcome to. Thank you for calling Dell Technical Support. My name is Ben. Like, fuck, for, I don't know, 3 years?
Like, wouldn't that be funny, though, if, like, nowadays somebody who was white actually took on the moniker
well,
of, like, the call center?
I'd be funnier if it was like Ben was allowed to do it uncensored, because it'd be like, thanks for calling. I don't fucking know. What can I do for you? My computer has a virus. Stop looking at porn.
I became very good at cursing out customers without using any foul language.
I
As a
understand
long
your
purveyor of
frustration.
porn, I object. I've never had a virus.
Yes, there. This
Don't
is
click on the
apparently
stupid
going on
link,
the board.
dumbass.
Oh, I had one of those. I sold it.
I have a feeling that's going to raise your noise floor so goddamn high you're going to be mad at it.
Well, I got the noise gate to put right after it.
I don't think that's going to help, but go for it.
Oh, well, blame the unbelievable one.
I mean,
It's
I've
an
never.
MXR clone.
I was gonna say I haven't used that before, but like I like the Boss one, but the Boss floor you have to get them modded because the G7 frickin' noise floor is way too high. Maybe the MXR one and the subsequent
noise? Like I care about noise.
Well,
Yeah, it's a clone of an MXR, so it's just as noisy.
oh, but that's no bueno. Scott's basically being polite and saying it's noisy.
Yeah, it is.
There you go.
Yeah, well, it's going
That's
on
why
the
I
board.
got rid of it.
That'd be
Apparently.
sad that you need a noise suppressor for your EQ pedal.
Yeah. How funny is that? Like, oh man, they got this killer deal going. Anytime you buy an EQ, they give you a noise gate.
What you do? You wait. You don't get your EQ?
My 800 to 1200K is dead silent as soon as I start playing.
Oh, did you know I got another phaser, Aaron?
No, but that's smart. What'd you get?
Yeah, it was in part of the grand unboxing last week. There, it's I don't know. It's made by K-Line. It's an Azor thing. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, could be good. I mean, some of the like mass-produced garbage landfill end-up pedals are actually pretty good, but that's because like they're made by real companies. Like Nux makes a bunch of pedals that are actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, this one says right now. Yeah, it's like K-Line technology, but who are they ripping off, right?
Well,
that doesn't help me much.
Most of the time, you got to open it up and look on the circuit board because they'll have etched who the OEM is.
Yeah,
they're actually an OEM.
Oh, are they? Okay, well
Yeah.
then there you go. Like when you open up the Amazon pedals, they're made by Nux.
Yeah, they're made by UX. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nux, Nuix. We should talk about that for a second. Confusing ass.
that's going to lead me
names.
into the plural for Ibanez.
Ibanez's, yeah.
Ibanai?
See, that's what I'm saying. Why come up with a confusing ass name? Nuix, Nux? I don't even think their employees know because I've seen different. Well, maybe they just don't understand the question.
This could be
But
going
I've
on the
seen-
board.
That's a great pedal. Always has been.
Yep, and that's the Johnny Highland Phase 90.
I think that some of the company people just don't speak English because they created the moist reverb.
Oh well, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes. It's kind of like.
I have no problem with that.
When
I want that now just based on that name.
When
Just
Vox
because
came
it's
out with that amp in the.
I like my reverb dry. What's this wet reverb?
It's not wet. It's
moist. I remember
moist.
late 90s, maybe early 2000s. I don't remember when the hell it was. But Vox came out with an amp that bombed, and you knew it was going to bomb because there was a switch on it that said macho.
Oh.
Really?
Oh, God.
You could turn on the macho. I was like,
I expect that out of Fender. I don't.
I expect that out of Crate.
yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
fully expect out of Crate. That's a given.
Here's the Blue
That's
Voodoo
true.
with its
Here-
patented macho switch.
Macho.
Bring me a
and
Crate
it's
that
got
doesn't have a
voodoo.
Macho switch.
And then they'd go get Sammy Hagar while he's overweight and put a bunch of broads in bikinis that they overpaid for that would never be caught anywhere near him and watch him push the macho switch and they pop into being. It's like,
Oh,
Damn it, Weibo, dude.
exactly. Oy. Oy vey.
I love
Yeah.
Sammy.
I do
Why
too.
did they name their band Chickenfoot?
Oh, it's bad news, yeah.
why not?
Because it didn't matter.
Exactly.
We knew who they were, and we followed
Yeah.
them.
Beaver tail was already taken.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, and you got to like the new band, The Circle. They're excellent.
They're called this. I haven't heard them. The Circle?
I haven't heard.
Yeah, it's got Jason Bonham on drums. It's got Vic Johnson from the Busboys, Sammy, and then Michael Anthony.
Oh, wait. Is that the band that like does the residency in Vegas and they do like
Yeah,
everything
The
that
Circle.
Sammy's ever done? They're called. Okay, I didn't know they were called The Circle. I knew that. As soon as you started saying the members, I was like, wait, I know that band, but
Yeah,
I didn't know they were
do
called The
some-
Circle.
do some Zeppelin stuff for Jason, and they do Van Halen stuff, and I
That's
think
a
they
dude.
do some Busboys stuff.
That's a dude I'm surprised hasn't hooked on with like a massively huge band because Jason Bonham can freaking kill it on the kit.
He can.
He is fantastic.
Well, he is also the tour.
He had that band in the
last
80s,
number of
the Bonham band in the 80s.
I think his quintessential
yes.
performance was with Ann and Nancy Wilson doing Stairway to Heaven at the Kennedy Center. I mean, that was it moved the original artist.
Ben, your noise gate. Turn it off.
That'd be Zach that needs the noise gate.
Oh, my bad. He's running his headphones into a Joyo EQ. That's the problem.
Hello to Hobo Roadie. Hello to Dane at Zim's Guitars. Yes. Has anyone? Yes, because we've had different people join in throughout the evening. The last update I had was Tom has been moved to a rehab facility. So
Good for
that
him.
is great news. He's out of the hospital. So he's been moved to a
Recovery
rehab.
is imminent.
What's he looking at? Like a 6-month recovery window, or?
I have no idea because he you figure
Imagine
that's
they cut you
major
open, break your
surgery,
ribs,
and
take
he's a
apart.
little on the frail side. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was kind of playing that one close to the vest before he went in for it, wasn't he?
oh no, it was more. He thought one thing, I think, and it was much worse than what was expected upon arrival.
Yeah, it was.
I have a cold. No, your heart is malfunctioning. That's why you're feeling down and out.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Jason Bonham did play with Foreigner also.
Still
Oh.
is, as far as I know. Has been for the last 5,
Sure.
6, 8 years, something like that.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Oh,
terrible.
Rams win. I'm surprised I haven't heard my dad yell up here yet. My dad's a Rams fan. I could tell the Rams lost the lead when all of a sudden it was dead silent downstairs.
They're back and forth going.
I didn't even know who was playing
Well,
until today.
Cincinnati and
Rams
Yeah,
and
neither
Bengals.
did I.
Yeah.
I'll give them credit for it's not the usual suspects.
Yep.
You know, who would have thought?
I can literally say the last time I watched NFL football was the 95-96 season, the first half. And that's because I lived in Windsor, so you only got Detroit TV stations. I didn't have cable, so it was all just whatever you can get on the antenna. And so on the 3 channels that somewhat came in clear, you're watching Detroit football every Sunday, and one of my roommates was a football fan, so I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I was going to say Detroit was definitely not in the Super Bowl. They haven't been good.
No, and they
like-
sucked. They sucked too, and that was the worst part.
Yeah,
It wasn't
they
even a
haven't-
good team to watch.
They haven't been good in a long time.
Even
Yeah,
with Eric
last time
Sanders,
I
they
watched.
sucked.
Well, I said it this way: their best 2 players in history both retired in their prime because they got sick of losing. Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson were both like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
I don't think I've watched football since I moved out of Washington, and then the Seahawks won the Super Bowl that year.
Figures,
Ooh.
right?
Yeah,
You spend your whole
I
life rooting
have-
for them, they suck, and then they get
Yeah.
the Legion of Boom and they win it, and you're not even there.
yeah.
I have been to a football game, but that was a CFL game. Argonauts playing something or other. I'll say Rough Riders because
Rough
half the
Riders.
league was Rough Riders at the
Yeah,
time.
probably
Yeah,
Rough
you're
Riders.
on.
No, actually, I think it was Winnipeg. Could have been Winnipeg. But
Blue
That
Bombers.
would have been
Well, I
the
had-
Blue Bombers.
I got free tickets to an Argonauts game, so I said to my dad, "Hey, you want to go to an Argonauts game? You watch football sometimes on TV." He's like, "Yeah, why not? Let's go. It's free."
So I was going to say, for most of us in Canada, if we do kind of follow down that path, saying something like the Super Bowl to us, you might as well say, if you want it to be said right, oh, how about that Grey Cup?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I remember the fights had to be. We would get because Major League Baseball. There's so many games. There's so many tickets that get handed out.
There's 162,
Exactly, and half
And
are
then-
home games.
and then the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, so you figure 81 home games. So it just worked out that one year at that time, I think it was the Yankees were in town for a 4-game series, but only one of the games was even on TV because it was like late 80s. And it just happened that at the time I was a member of the Air Cadets. Okay. We also did a yearly school trip to the Jays game. So I went to the Friday game was school trip, or Thursday. No, the Friday game was school trip, or Thursday was school trip. No, yeah, Thursday was school trip. Friday was Air Cadets. Friday evening game. We were able to go. Saturday we had comp tickets because we sponsored Jays games on the local AM radio station with the restaurant for whatever. So we got our yearly tickets. Happened to be on that weekend. And then the 4th game was on TV. So it was like I was the only one that got to see that whole series. And I was like fully invested. I'm like worn out 14-year-old going, all right, because I'm going back and forth to Toronto every day. That's 100+ miles each way in a school bus. Or, it was like, at least the last day was my mom driving up. So it was awesome.
Tell you what, Blue Jays are good as hell now, man. They've got 2 of the best young players in the sport.
They were not at that time.
No, they're nasty.
They were
now, man.
okay, like enough that you got hope, but then by August you're like, really? No.
Yeah, pretty much the franchise was pretty much low tier, pretty much up.
Yeah,
until,
like it was literally the tail end of the careers of all the guys that then were replaced by the World Series teams right after. Like
Yeah, I
the
was gonna
outfield
say.
was Lloyd Mosby, Jesse Barfield, and Willie Upshaw.
Oh yeah.
Before they started sending them down to the minors.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
they haven't been like a force to be reckoned with since Joe Carter hit that homer in the World Series to win it. And that
They had
was
a few
like
flirts.
93 or
Yeah,
whatever.
every few years they would have a few flirts before I stopped following baseball about 5 years ago. But yeah, they would be kind of in the hunt, but it's such a that division was so tough because it's like you're in the same division with Boston and New York.
Yep, and now Tampa's in the postseason every year, and they're in the same division. So it's
Yeah.
Toronto, Tampa, Boston, New York, and then the shitty Orioles.
Who were good at that back in the day too, because
Yeah, they had Cal Ripken. Yeah,
you know,
Yeah. Yeah, they were a good organization.
I
for a little
remember.
bit.
I remember when the Mariners were good when we had Randy Johnson and stuff.
The
They
big
were-
unit.
Yeah, they were ripping.
Ken
That was
Griffey
addictive.
Jr.
Watch the big unit.
Yeah,
go
I, know,
down
I
and
don't understand how that
playoff
team did not win.
I
They
mean,
were-
Edgar Martinez, Tino Martinez, Randy Johnson, Jay Buhner, Ken Griffey Jr. There's 5
Yeah.
frickin' all-stars right
So-
there.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
was
It's just-
an epic journey.
I
mean,
think
I'm not
they-
a
Yeah,
baseball fan,
Johnson had
but
to
I
go to
watched
Arizona
that.
to win the series.
And then later in the franchise's career, when they got Ichiro, I think they have the most records in a single season, most wins in a single season.
yeah.
Mariners they have that record still, and they didn't win it that year.
Yeah, when did that?
I was going to say I should preface that because people are like, wait, what? So,
He's always been a space cadet, people.
all right, those who are a similar age or so, I believe the year.
He takes his glass
How-
rocket to
this-
space every day.
No, this is how Ben joined the Air Cadets. So what happened was, I believe the year was 1986, and a movie called Top Gun came out.
You were
okay.
Maverick. You were Maverick, weren't you?
No, but this is what I heard, Aaron, was you join the Air Cadets, you could get your pilot's license for free, and they supply the aircraft.
Okay.
Okay, and you can have your pilot's license by 17, I
That's
think.
a great deal. Let me guess, it's not true.
Oh, it's true.
Okay.
However, I was all fine and dandy the first year, and then I kind of discovered punk rock and rebellion, and I didn't really like getting told what to do as much anymore. And then I also kind of saw the fine print in the Charter of Rights of Canada, how if they ever reinstituted conscription, aka the draft, anybody with previous military training is the first to get called.
Oh,
and,
your ass would have been in war, yeah.
and we don't have ROTC in Canada. So literally it's just your Air Cadets, Sea Cadets, and whatever Army Cadets are, which I called something that I don't know, whatever.
Monday
So
evening,
I'm like,
Ben's
wait a
practicing
minute.
the
I'm like,
saxophone. Tuesday, he's in a
and
war.
this is the late 80s, and the Cold War was still happening. Like, literally, it was the last year of the Berlin Wall in existence. So I'm like, I don't know if I really want to be here anymore. I think I want to play guitar. And I also discovered playing guitar and race cars and more. And
You strike me as the kind of guy that would get in that plane and just take it for a joyride.
I realized,
Ben,
yeah, I didn't really need a pilot's license that bad, and realized it was only like out of the 200 people there, 4 end up going all the way through to get their pilot's license. I'm like, they're like, yeah, it's a lot of work. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that much work now. And
I can imagine that though in your headset. Commander Cadet Coombs, report to Kiev. I'm gonna be a minute. What do you mean you're gonna be a minute? Get your ass there. Yeah, relax. Beep.
Slam.
No National Guard in Canada.
no National Guard in Canada.
Oh, that's weird.
They throw Ben out of the military for
It's
alienating
ironic
his
that
post.
but see, then it worked much better later in life when I was a civilian contractor, because then, like, basically there were no rules for me, which really, really helped.
Gretsch Zeppelin just hit it on the head. Ben was confused. Someone asked him, how would you like to get higher than you've ever been before?
Who knew?
Canadian Space Force, eh?
We're on a special mission, eh? Grow some, like, space weed or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
we
pretty
heard
straight laced.
there's
I
some
would
good
say I was
cheese
pretty
fries
straight
up
laced
on the
at the
moon,
time.
eh?
Other, in fact, I had a lot of rock star musician heroes, but
You ever
It's
seen
just like-
you ever seen somebody clam bake an F-16? That's Ben.
yeah,
Little thing opens up.
hot box.
Yep. Ben pops out. So we like in war or what? Not.
So
Like the Spicoli van in Fast Times where they
Yeah.
open the door.
Oh, Mr. Hand.
Just in a pilot's cockpit. That's Ben.
Perfect.
that was much the situation, Scotty. I felt like Spicoli, and it was Mr. Hand, and it was just like, yo, your hair is getting too long.
Who
Yep.
ordered pizza? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like all we do is walk around in circles every week doing parade exercise. Like,
No.
how is this preparing us for anything? And then once in a while, then they would just randomly do stuff. All of a sudden, like, hey, we're gonna go fire rifles tonight. I'm like, really? I've never held
The
a
walking
firearm
in
before.
circles is because they are almost certain you're going to be a prisoner of war, and that's the time that you get each day out in the yard.
That's pretty much felt like it. And then yeah, it's just weird. And then they take you on random trips, places, and hey, check
Ben-
out this.
Ben gets in a confrontation rather than fighting. He just puts his hands out like, I know how this is supposed to go. Take me away. We practice walking in circles. I'm ready.
Yeah, and then somehow later in life becoming a civilian contractor with a pretty high security clearance, because if an uppy-ups PA system, because the uppy-up's the one that has to have the PA system in his office to go, hey, stuff's happening, get to work, or man your post or whatever. That dude, if that thing doesn't work, that's bad, right? And when you're responsible your shop is responsible for that. That means the people in that shop, for the most part, have to have that security clearance, or at least somebody in that shop at any given time has to have that security clearance. And then based on overseas deployments and us having to babysit a bunch of kids that were waiting training for their various trades, that they're like, hey, you can go anywhere on the base pretty much, and because you know how to fix this stuff. I'm like, that I do. And they're like, all right. So like, I loved taking fresh privates, Aaron, to a general's office.
That sounds so dirty, bro.
They pee a little. They do pee a little.
I love taking fresh privates to the general's office. That sounded so bad.
Sounds like a title for a movie.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Private parts.
because they're all
needs
like,
to go
oh,
see
sir, yes,
General
sir, and I'm like,
Misconduct.
suck.
Yeah, if the algorithm rhythm doesn't flag you for that statement alone, I don't know what will. This guy wants to take some fresh privates to the general's office so he can man his post.
Ben, when I was in the Corps, I barely had enough secret access to get my own information.
Yeah, it was crazy. They're like, all of a sudden, like when the main people in our shop would be like, hey, come on, we got to go work on this. I'm like, where are we going? And I'm like, I've never been to this part of the base before. Like, this is interesting. And then a lot of people with a lot of crap hanging off the uniforms is what I'm saying, Randy. You know what I mean? Their uniforms would have been much fancier than your uniform, even though it's the same uniform underneath, but there's extra stuff all hanging off of it.
Ben was setting up a PA system. He was
I had-
setting up the PA for
I had
aliens. He was
three
just so
things
high he
that hung
didn't think
off
they
of me
were
at
real.
that point.
What
Thought
do
they were
those
aliens. They
stars
were
mean?
actually gummy
And
bears.
one of them wasn't a good conduct medal.
I got to go see a man about a horse. Be right back.
Already?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
though.
I remember. I think the biggest time I had to do a public event was I was doing the sound system for. It's weird. Oh, when politicians make an announcement, like there has to be a bunch of people in front of them to make the announcement for whatever reason. Like, hey, we're going to spend a bunch of money here on this base. So, hey, let's get a bunch of troops to listen to him say, hey, I'm going to spend a bunch of money, but you guys will all be stationed at other bases by the time the money ever gets here, because that's the way the military, it takes 5 years, right?
This is one of those commercials where it's like, couldn't this have been said in an email?
Well, exactly. Well, and not to mention, everybody knew the rumor had been going around for years, whatever. But so that means you got to have a big PA system to broadcast this to 200 troops, we'll say. Plus, you got all the media there that want to mic in for the press conference. And it's like, what kind of audio do you want? Well, can we get a direct off the board? Oh, man.
That's funny,
So
I'd like a flanger on my voice.
You know,
today we take Iceland.
Or talk box.
Yeah, exactly.
Univibe.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So it's like, all right. So you need basically a reverse mixer board where you only need like one input, but like 12 outputs. Fun. So I had to find out if they existed in life, and they do. So I had this basically a board that would mix down into a board, and I used a Mackie board and then back out into this. And I have like all the media people tapped into it while the Minister of Defense, which is, I guess, whoever's in charge of your military, we'll say, in the U.S. or whatever country you're in, Secretary of Defense, whatever. So he's up there going, hey, we're going to buy some these things, And it got to the point where, because, we're in entertainment, folks. Music is entertainment in many ways.
Oh, yeah, this is...
Instead of they're like, hey, we'll just have the runway as the backdrop, which is really the runway and a field, right? And there's kind of a couple aircraft kind of parked nearby, which are kind of in frame. So it's the Minister of Defense. Like, I was like, who's I'm like, who's the liaison? I figure out who my liaison is that's putting this whole shabazzle together. I'm like, hey, why don't you move a couple of helicopters over behind? You're like, oh, that's a great idea. Have them pointed in. I'm like, yeah, like make it look, I don't know.
See, and then we'll get a couple of girls in bikinis to lay on the hoods of the helicopters. We'll get a fan blowing directly across your hair. We'll put a delay on your voice, and it's gonna kick ass.
Don't forget the mist.
Yeah, fog machine. The whole 9 yards. This is going to be the best military announcement ever.
Gonna have smudge pots down there.
It's funny you say that, Aaron, because after we did all of that, right? Like we had the big two in Canada, the CBC and the CTV. All right, so they're both there, and there's other reporters and stuff that are tabbing. The CBC guy walks up, he goes, "That sounded awesome." Because regardless of who it is, as soon as they start talking, I EQ someone's voice, and so they're like that. Like the levels were great because they were putting it through their camera, blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, the levels were great, it sounded great, blah blah. I was like, well, yeah.
You could have used this as an interesting spot for an experiment. You hand out the brownies when they walk in. By the time the announcement happens, nobody wants to do shit except hug and listen to music.
Make sure they have at least 2 or 3 brownies.
This is true.
No.
The Minister of Defense is up there going, we're supposed to... I don't remember. What were we supposed to do?
Where's my brownie?
Yeah.
Aaron, there was only 2 rules on the base for me. Steel toe footwear.
Okay.
And all recreational activities stay away from the military base.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to show them a good time. It'll spread like wildfire.
Well, no, not only that, because it was not legal at the time, and it was quite frowned upon at the time in the military because we had a very conservative government at the time.
Which is interesting, because you guys could drink at what, like frickin' 18?
19.
Alberta.
19. So 19, it's like, you can't burn one, heaven fucking forbid, but hey, guys, go take a bullet and have a shot. Like,
But in the military, you could drink at lunch, and you could drink more or less depending on rank. Still, because that carries back to like British times and whatever. Yeah, I didn't mind it. I mean, I was allowed based off my equivalent ranking. I could have 2 pints with lunch. And Aaron,
You
Do I
think the
need
famous?
more than 2 pints at lunch? Do I need more than 2 pints at
Oh
lunch?
God,
to work?
you don't need more than 2 pints. Period.
No.
I
So
mean, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy how that happens. You know, I'm sure if you look through history, there's some famous fighter pilot named Moonshine, and everyone thinks that was like a cool name. No, that's literally because all he did was drink moonshine.
Or it was
probably ran his plane on it too.
I thought it was Maverick and Mongoose. What are you talking about?
Oh, my bad. Well, they had to edit it because in the States they thought moonshine and I don't know, 5150 or wait, 151. There we go. Got my 5s and 1s mixed. You know, moonshine and 151. They thought that was a little ludicrous, so they changed it to Maverick.
I just go, that's just conversation lubrication.
Yeah.
Man, you are dropping all sorts of words that can take my brain left and right today.
Well, you know.
Lubrication.
Hey, I'm happy you jumped in tonight, brother.
Lubrication, new privates, man the post, and you're all over.
If I ever came to that with grade 3, I was a beaver.
Oh, you did say beaver a couple of times now.
Beaver,
Which is a precursor to the Scouts.
right? Yeah, we had the vests and the badges for making knots and whatever.
Yeah, I remember there was a few classmates because every once in a while you show up for school and I'm like, oh, you're one of those apparently, you know.
Yeah, after grade 3, I was done with the establishment. Sex,
It was-
rock and roll.
Yeah, it was around that time, 3rd grade. My grandmother was down for a visit.
You were into
and
sex,
she's like-
drugs, and rock and roll in 3rd grade. That's
She says to
awesome.
my
Grade
dad,
4. Grade 4 after grade 3.
Grade
she
4
says
for
to my
me.
dad, why aren't you having been enrolled in the Beavers activities, blah blah blah. He's like, have you looked outside? We live in the country.
Who's gonna drive them?
Exactly.
No, not only that, but he's like, go outside. Like, he does that already. They're like, oh, they're gonna teach you about trees and stuff. He hangs out with his grandfather who knows about all that shit. Where? In the woods.
Now, don't be so hard on the beaver, Ward.
Who's gonna drive him? That question was more like, do you know how much more money we're gonna have to spend reshoeing this horse as he rides into town?
And then there was, the who's going to drive him, because
I was
both
gonna say,
parents were quite busy at different hours of the day. That's for sure.
I don't know. I just can't see Ben riding a horse into town.
I can't either.
I can't see myself on a horse.
I was
So.
gonna say, I actually would love to
He
see
wasn't
Ben ride a
that
horse.
high up in level enough. He only could
Oh, Aaron, it's not that I wouldn't
get
love
to
to
the
see
level
it.
of
I
moose.
just can't see it.
Yeah,
I don't think my
moose,
hips
yeah.
move that way anymore to allow myself to.
Next time you come to Illinois, I'm gonna see if I can take you to ride a horse, just so I can shoot video and put it online.
No, we're good. We're good.
Canucks with
But
horses.
dirt bikes
No,
are
that's
better.
just all kinds of jostling. That would not be good for my hip, back.
Oh, it'd be
Oh,
terrible
yeah.
for your body. You might die, but
You have to remember that sudden impact on the ground when you fall off. That
Yeah.
hurts.
just remember to roll when the horse inevitably tries to step on you.
You need to make your peace with the animal before you climb on it and tell
Yeah,
it. I mean, come on. You
Oh, and they'll let
prefer
you know if they
to
don't
wild
like you.
thing Go.
I enjoy nature, but I prefer to deal with it through YouTube.
But
I like to
what
watch
happens
other
if
people's.
what happens if your horse's name is something like Brownie? Then all of a sudden you're gonna
Yeah.
think it's fate.
No,
Plus,
It's
gravity's a fickle bitch anyway.
Fate
Yeah.
that he would crumble to Brownie.
Ben picks his horse solely on the name. They're like, this one's a son of a bitch. What's its name? Glass pipe. Oh, I love it. I'm on it. This is the most gentle and docile horse we have. What's his name? Hellmouth. Nope.
I'd be the dude that has the wagon hooked up. I'll just ride a chuck wagon or something like that.
I could see you driving a wagon. Totally.
I'd ride the hell out of a chuck wagon, and I'd roll it and hurt myself, and I'd still grin. That would,
After that, you'd want to put a V8 in it.
well, yeah.
How do I
I have
not
a
buy this
bony-
goddamn thing?
I still remember we took a buddy to stock car race up at Kawartha Speedway, which is a stock car track around the inside of a horse track. So we're watching, the races, and they have an intermission. And our buddy has never been to a race before in his life. He looks at the horse track. He goes, so how many laps do they run on this one? And it's like, oh, they run about 10. Then they come in for a pit stop, feed them some hay, water them down, send them back out. You say, really? No, dumbass.
I remember when I was little, my grandpa used to have like he was a bookie off the records, obviously. But
See, Robot Master Switch's comment.
Yeah, I'm the narc. That's fine.
It's only because he can get quite loud when he's partying.
Well, I it's okay, Robot. I've already taken your IP and sent it to the authorities, so joke's on you, motherfucker.
I don't know. Aaron's also quite the enabler. If you've seen the Nashville videos.
Hey, man. Hey.
No. Nobody's seen those.
Let's get something straight. I've said it before. Don't threaten me with a good time, okay? And that's exactly what I knew that was going to be, and it was a good time. We're still talking about it several years later.
Yeah.
Now,
and the funny part is, having not had Nashville chicken, I've still figured out how to do Nashville chicken, so I make Nashville chicken at least once a week.
Oh, there you go. It was funny. I was watching a video of Bollinger live the other day, and I was like, "Oh, hey, that's the same place that me and Ben were standing right when they played Pour Some Sugar on Me." And then Ben turned and ran down the stairs that are right next to that stage.
I was watching. There's been a few things like was the IndyCar race because if it's zipping around and they're doing. I'm like, I know that area. Okay, and then. Watched something recently. Yeah, it was on Broadway. I'm like, oh Jesus, yeah. I'm like, I'm literally looking at it. I forget what it was. It was on a celebrity interview, and I'm just looking around the background. I'm like, fuck, that place looks familiar. I'm like, I puked on the walls of that place.
Yeah,
that was the place with the women, and we stayed for a while.
Well, I remember the first time I took Eddie down to Nashville. He'd never been, and we pull into town, and he's like, what are we stuck behind? We're not moving. Like, is there a party or something? And all of a sudden I clicked the lights on a little brighter so he could see what I was seeing. And he looks forward and it's a fucking bus with 6 women on the outside with pedals. And they're drinking and the thing won't fucking move unless these broads pedal. And they weren't pedaling because they're all like, woo! And he's like, what?
And they really love it when you're trying to do a YouTube video walking down the street.
Yeah. He's like,
hey, how you doing?
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck is that?
It wasn't you, Mark. I do remember taking you up, buddy, but no, it was somebody else who had mentioned that about the horse track.
They have one of those pedal buses down here, and I can't see the point in doing that.
No, why would you want to run off the booze?
Work it off while you're doing it.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you sober up while you're trying to get drunk? Good job. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
You gotta give me free booze if I'm providing the horsepower. If I'm working, you gotta pay me. I'm there to relax.
It's actually a very intelligent business model. You gotta pay $12 a beer, and I don't actually have to put gas in this thing.
No kidding.
You know what I mean?
And you're gonna power it.
Yeah, exactly. This is genius. And I just wanted to see the city. Yeah. Drive my ass
All you
around.
have to do is maybe deal with a couple of chains, and that's about it.
Yeah. There's been a lot of funny things that I've seen in Nashville. I remember I took an old girlfriend down there, and we did one of those horse carriage rides, supposedly romantic. It wasn't romantic because the guy that was driving our horse thing was an old cowboy who said every word you can't say several times over. So it's every time you turn a corner, you go, and in this building's where I got a Hummer from Betty Sue and blah, blah, blah. 1951, I broke my ankle kicking Johnny Jackson's ass. After
they didn't put that in the brochure, right?
No. And he's like, after he stuck his hand down my girl's pants, and I'm sitting there what the fuck, dude? I am so not getting laid tonight. My girlfriend's looking at me like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, this is what they advertised. But like you said, nothing in the brochure about get a foul-mouthed cowboy that's gonna, make sure that you get nothing that night.
Yeah.
Unless you pay for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Although there are some other funny things that have happened down there. I remember I went down one time. I drove down on a Friday night. Got there at the start of Saturday morning. Went into a cheap hotel with me and my best friend. Went down there. Got a bottle of vodka. We sat in a hot tub. Drank the whole bottle of vodka. Then went out on on Broadway, and it's like freaking 9 o'clock in the morning. There's like people walking to work, and we're all falling around and shit. And we're down on the river where like they have the monument for Fort Hood, or Fort Nasbro is what it's called. His nickname was Hood. He was so drunk he kept going up to all the tourists and going, "This is now Fort Hood. I took it over." And then they'd look at him and he'd be like, "What? Try to take it back. Try to take it back." And we're all hammered, and people are looking at us like, who are these two fucking morons? And then as we're leaving, he decides to proclaim to everyone he's a good person. He's giving back Fort Nashbro. They can have it.
Yeah.
And then we literally like went back to the hotel, blacked out, got up, and drove back.
I was gonna say, I get it, because having been in Nashville with Aaron, I was puking by 2:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday.
Yeah,
so I get it.
I had him just at all sorts of shit faced. I mean, it was pretty funny. I remember I took him to BB King's Blues Bar, and we had our back to the stage, and you're hearing this real raspy voice that's singing the blues. It's all like, "And then my baby," and he's like, "Oh my God, that guy's voice is awesome." And he's like, "I wonder how old this guy is." He's thinking it's like some old black dude. He turns around, it's like this 15-year-old kid with like curly hair playing guitar, and he goes, "Who the fuck are you?" Like loud enough that the whole room heard it, because it's like, 10 o'clock in the morning. There aren't many people there, and everyone turns and looks at him, and he goes, "And what did you do with that other guy?" And all of a sudden the guy's like, "I think that guy might have had too much to drink." And he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I'm like, "Don't mind him, my bad. You guys came in for like your lunch break."
He's from Canada.
Yeah. You came in for your lunch. You came in for your lunch break, and this guy's shithoused. It's not your fault. It's my fault. Yeah, that was a good time though.
I may have had bowls with breakfast that morning.
And then they've got an Elvis. They've got multiple Elvis statues, but they've got one of the Elvis statues. He's like outside, and he's like this. So what we would do is we were all hammered, and we'd stand next to it whenever like somebody came around the corner. We'd throw our neck in there so it looked like Elvis was choking us, and we'd go, "Ah!" And the people are like, "What the fuck?" And then we'd be like, "We're just kidding. It's a statue." It's like, oh my God. Yeah.
So while you were down there, did you go down to Sun Records?
Oh yeah, I've been there multiple times. They used to have the booth in the back of the actual inside there. I don't know if they still do though. I think they moved. I recall the last time I was down there. I don't think it's down there anymore. But yeah, they used to have the actual like booth in the back of the building, and you could go in and cut your own like record, one 3-minute song type thing.
That's kind of like going home to the Parthenon or something like that.
I quite enjoyed Nashville, even though it's quite gimmicky, but I could still feel the soul of Nashville was there. Like, they haven't totally ruined it yet.
The thing that's interesting is
they're getting there. They're trying, Aaron. They're really trying.
When I used to go there, because it's my favorite city in the country. I mean, I've probably been there like 40 or 50 times. And when you used to go there, it was literally all about people playing live music. That was like the thing. Now you go there, and it's like, how many like bachelorettes can we get to go down here and make a bad decision but feel good about it because it's in Vegas, while like riding around on a hot tub flatbed, and like all the windows are open and people are playing country versions of like pop songs, and it's like, the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a good time, don't get me wrong, but when I go to Nashville, I try to take, if somebody's never been there, like you, I took you to Broadway so that you could experience it, but it's not like, oh yeah, I'm going to Nashville for Broadway. It's like, no.
Let's go to the Gibson Museum.
Dude, to be honest with you, like the country Hall of Fame is fantastic. Like, they have Elvis's.
Yeah, like I would check out the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Awesome.
I would check out the Ryman, stuff like that, because I get the history in Nashville as much as I disagree with a lot of the history in Nashville. Again, bucking the system.
Yeah. But what was
Chet Atkins and RCA were a bit of dicks.
Like,
I side more with Willie.
Yeah. But what's cool, like the Country Hall of Fame, like they've got Elvis's pink Cadillac up on the second floor, and it's cool because you can see like in the back seat he had a cell phone, and it's like, to think about how much money he had to pay to have a phone in a car back then. It's like unbelievable. And it's got like the steer head on the he's got the big horns out on the front of the frickin' thing. It's cool, but like I said, what it was when I started going there in like the early 2000s versus what it is now is like night and day. Because it is more and more like they jokingly refer to it as Nash Vegas now, but I've been to Vegas a bunch and it's not that dissimilar.
All good, Zach. All good. I know you're trying, buddy.
All it's missing is the 24-hour casinos.
Yeah, which I could care less. Having worked in a casino, I could care less if I ever stepped inside of another one.
I just don't like gambling.
Not
then
a problem, Zach. Not a problem.
I don't want to give away my money.
I did. When was that? I don't know. 10 or so years ago, I did a surprise trip for the girlfriend. I took her down to Niagara Falls because there's casinos down there and stuff. And at the time, that was just when Texas Hold'em was starting to become a thing.
Yeah.
And so I'd been playing online a bit. And so I went and checked into a suite, paid cash. They noticed that because I had carried cash. Because I don't have a still to this day, I don't have a credit card. So everything was in cash. I'm like, I walk in, I'm like, you got suites? Yep. You take cash? Yep. Sweet. Like, what you in town for? I'm like, to play poker. They're like, nice. And then I went down to the casino that night and won enough money to pay for the hotel for the trip.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, nice.
Hopefully you hung on
conservative, and then 45 minutes later, I won a $300 hand or $400 hand or whatever. And the suite, because it was during the week, was $100 a night. Normally $500 a night on weekends, but that was sweet. See you, Edwin.
Yeah, I've got a love-hate relationship with gambling. When I turned 21, I remember I went and I played the Wheel of Fortune slot, and if you bet $3, then you got a shot to hit the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
I hit $200 on my very first thing. I'm $3 in, I win 200. So I was like, I'm out of here. But I came with my mom and some friends and stuff. And my mom loved to gamble, rest her soul. So I remember being like, all right, Mom, I hit 200. Let's go. And she's like, we just got here. Go get yourself a beer. So I sat at the bar, just drank for the next 2 hours. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm not giving away any of this money. But then fast forward, the band signed. We're on tour. We're in Vegas. We lost all of our money in like 20 goddamn minutes. I mean, we were loaded when we got out of the van and went into the into the casino, but love-hate, because I was like, oh man, the last time I played, I won $200 in like 3 minutes. Yeah, it ain't like that every time. And in Vegas, it's like I feel like you win just enough to keep you on the machines or the table so that you keep drinking and making stupid decisions. Yeah, we made a bunch of stupid decisions. 5 guys with a bunch of money, bad idea.
Michael Cross asks, how do you exist without a credit card? I have a debit card. Works the same way in Canada, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, as long as you have the money in the account, obviously it works. So, and that's the way I work. I don't get stuff on credit.
Plus, now with Visa debit, it's pretty much
because that's the thing. It's like Visa co-endorses it, so whatever. So it just allows it to be able to use for online transactions, essentially.
I could buy pedals from Amazon with it.
That is true, Michael Cross. But I haven't got I can't remember the last time I got a hotel room. And usually they want a deposit. It was like, oh, it's like an extra night's deposit in cash. So, but then I'm trying to remember when was the last time I stayed in a fucking hotel.
I was gonna say even that shit's changed. Like you used to have to put a credit card. You used to have to put a credit card down to rent a car. You don't have to do that anymore either. You can use your debit card.
Yeah, when I went to Sweetwater, that I used my dad's credit card because we have the same first name. Which is why I had to get us out of Carter's, because I had that same card with me on our Nashville trip in case of emergencies, and it was becoming a damn emergency that I walk out of there with that Telecaster. And there was enough room on that card for me to grab said Telecaster.
And I'm sure in your head you were thinking, Dad, I've got 2 kidneys. It'll be okay.
I'm like, no, we'll figure it out.
You can donate as much plasma as you need to.
Yeah. Blood and semen, just not together.
I'll like maple syrup.
I'll put a 1 meg pot in.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, if somebody would have given him that telly, he'd have done anything.
Oh God.
I mean, literally, you want to see Ben walk down the street naked with a football in his ass? Give him that telly.
So what year was it? What was the telly?
57.
Yeah, it was a 57.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it was
With
just his style, not a fret on the fucking thing. It had the smallest frets I've ever seen in my life, and he was
Cheers,
in
Armand.
heaven. I've never seen him so happy with an instrument in my life.
Oh no kidding.
Yeah, and I played a lot of instruments in front of you.
Well, yeah, and you figure that place there alone has, a couple hundred unbelievable instruments, and he would acknowledge how amazing everything was, but then the thing he kept playing was that 57.
Yeah, and I didn't even play a whole lot of them because I'm just like, yeah, okay.
I'm playing
like-
everything. I was playing 335s, 355s,
Because
Firebirds.
literally the only things that they didn't have out was vintage bursts and Blackguard tellies. Those were the two things that were not, because it's NAMM week, and I get it. You don't want a bunch of idiots like Aaron and me going, hey, can I play your Blackguard telly? Can I play through that Dumble sitting there? And they're like, no. You can barely afford the strings on that guitar. Get out of here.
I went down and, I mean, like I said, I played a bunch of the vintage shit, but all that stuff was in the 10 grand and under list. So
But
it's
yeah,
like,
and they treated
not a
us
big deal.
well because the stuff that I wanted to play, and it didn't hurt that the dude was a fellow Canuck that was working there.
well, and
that
you and
was-
I picked up mostly player grade stuff anyways. So, like, it's not shit that was pristine.
Exactly.
And if you'd have chipped something, it would have been the end
Yeah,
of the world.
I did like that. I think it was a 62 ES 175. That was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, you did play that.
Hey,
And
Aaron.
it wasn't
up?
bad. I think it was like in the low 20s.
Yeah, it wasn't priced bad at all.
You know,
What's up, Scott?
Who has all the 80s metal guitars?
who has all the 80s metal guitars? What store would be known for having a lot of that stuff? I stopped by Islander Winder.
They're pretty spread out. I mean,
Lord.
everywhere's got
That's a
some.
good question. I think they're.
I can't
I don't know
find
if
any of the
anything's
good
really-
ones. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if a store has really, because they're still so spread out. No one's like. I think it's going to take
It's going to take another 20 years for it to all of a sudden that be the 60s.
about that. Like, well, because I'm thinking they're all in collectors' hands or spread out retail and collectors. So
yeah.
Norman's
Or maybe
rare
the artists
guitar.
were smart enough to hang on to them.
There's a lot of that too. Well, and you got to remember, a lot of the 80s guitars, they don't have the reverence of this was what started it all. You know what I mean? It's like that was
Well-
a snapshot of this music
Well-
existed in this time period.
I'm thinking, like early 80s to mid 80s Jackson guitars, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Where are they? And they're killer guitars if you can find one.
I would think because of their age group, like those would have been like most of the really like the US ones would have been artist related for the most part. And like say half, and the other half would have gone to a handful of people that could afford them, and they probably still have them because they're like our age. And they
Yeah, I
probably
mean,
still have them.
I've seen some of the early Charvel Jackson stuff at CME had some for a while. I've seen them at Guitar Centers had them. I mean, they're just all over the place. Unlike like a vintage store like a Groons or
Right.
Carter's
is taking your 50s and 60s and
I
pre-Civil
think you
War
will
Martins.
see- yeah, I think like as they would come in, like if it, like I don't know. Let's just take Carter's for instance. Actually, no, Carter's would pretty much take like if it's a Japanese or American Jackson type thing or Ibanez, what like that type of thing. But it would have to be their upper end stuff.
Right. Yeah. I'm thinking like a Destroyer or a Yamaha SG 2000. The Carlos Santana guitar.
Yeah, you'll
Stuff like
find
that.
you'll find that shit in those stores. All those stores will have that. It's just I think a couple of things. Like I said, number one, we're talking like a 10-year range, you know what I mean, as opposed to 40s, 50s, 60s, a 30-year
Right.
range. And then on top of that, that stuff is still priced well enough that most people can still buy it. So if it comes in, it tends to go out. It's not like
Right.
it's not like a $25,000 telly hanging
Yeah,
on the
and then
wall.
until somebody decides to, I don't know, move a collection or has a collection, decides to go retail, most of that stuff all seems to be sold online. Like it seems like if you're going to buy a vintage Tele or a vintage Gibson, in theory, the majority of the people still want to put it in their hand, play it, that experience. Whereas, because I've noticed that since I got into YouTube, like I said, Darren, Wolfgangs, nobody gives a flying fuck if they play a Wolfgang before buying it.
Well,
that's per ratio wise.
Well, and a lot of that is the hit and miss nature of the older the guitar is, the less QC and consistency they were. By the 80s,
exactly.
A lot of the guitars were pretty good.
But
when you're talking the 50s and 60s,
you're going to get
either
you have no problem buying one off Reverb or eBay or something like that.
You're going to get an unbelievable guitar, or you're going to get a dog.
Oh yeah, I have played vintage guitars that were just awful, and that's why they were still pretty, because they were awful.
I've bought in and sold some of the sweetest guitars in my life that were vintage. I've bought in and sold some of the shittiest guitars in my life that were vintage. Like I sold Joe Bonamassa's. Well, his manager or whatever, I sold him a 64 SG that was in, at the time, a cherry red, which wasn't like a standard finish. So it was like the old guys. We gave the guy, I think we sold it to Joe for $15,000, and we gave the guy, I want to say 10 or 12. Yeah. But it's like the nicest guitar. I have a picture of it on my phone still, but I'm on my phone. I can't look at it. Had 3 gold humbuckers. It was in unbelievable shape. He had, newspaper clippings of him playing it when he was younger. And that was like one of the best guitars I've ever played in my life. Then I had a Melody Maker where you could tell the guy played it through the 70s because everything that could be done to modify this thing had been modified. I mean, there was a hole where an extra frickin' knob got put in that was further up, like on the pick guard. There was kill switch at one point. He moved the strap button. The frets were all, the
brass
frets,
nut, brass bridge.
everything. So, and that guitar was a total dog. Then I had another one. I remember I had an old SG that was beat to shit like that. And when you played it, you were like, oh my God, this guitar is amazing. But it's like, we wouldn't even buy it in because it looked so bad that it was like, we can't guarantee that this is not going to fall apart once somebody buys it. And my buddy actually made a deal in the parking lot and got it off the guy. Super old guy. He was probably in his early 80s. And he knew the guitar was beat to shit, but he sold it to my buddy for $500.
Those are my favorite guitars.
Yeah. All right, so here's the question. We'll throw this around the table and we'll probably wrap things up because holy crap, we've gone almost 3 hours and I hear the old man walking around. So what's your most wanted 80s pointy guitar, Terry? What is it?
BC Rich bitch.
Nice.
I mean, I guess if I was going to get a pointy guitar, I mean, we're talking 80s shred style guitar, right?
Yeah.
I presume. It's not like I'm going to be able to get out of this with an 80s Firebird or an Explorer.
No, it's probably has to be made in Japan.
84 Explorer would fit the bill.
I would probably have said,
V.
I'd say an Explorer or a V then. Or, I mean, I guess a Mockingbird's pretty killer. One of those three. I mean, I guess
you want a Fender or Squier Katana.
No, definitely don't want that.
I'm thinking, for a true pointy guitar, it would need to be made in Japan.
Oh, so you're not taking Gibsons then? Okay.
No, because that was they're kind of a hybrid. If you're gonna play a V, it would be a Jackson V, not a.
I was gonna say the Jacksons were made originally in the U.S., so you're not taking them either, then, huh?
But they gotta be pointier. It's a Jackson. It's pointier than a Gibson.
Not a Super Strat's not.
Yeah, BC Riches were made in the U.S. too. So
that headstock isn't. Should we look at the headstock in his Scott's hand? Look at that thing. That's all pointy.
Yeah, ESP.
Pointy.
I was gonna say, so Kramers are out. You're telling me all this shit's out then, huh?
Well, this is made in Japan.
Pointy.
Yeah, but Kramer was USA.
Yeah, but all the parts came from Japan.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
After 85, they did.
I was gonna say, I'm sure the Gibson parts came from Japan too.
Yeah, we'll put it this way: if you're gonna go pointy guitar, it's not aluminum neck Kramer, right? It ain't one of those.
Yeah. Well, those are 70s. Yeah.
Well, exactly. We're talking about you get your Ibanez, You know, your Jacksons, your Kramers, your
I got one.
Charmels, even.
Well, I've already got
No,
the
we're not
Washburn.
thinking about the
See, I-
Dimebag Daryl Dean.
Oh, that's a great shout. Although that's American, but it's pointy as hell, so I think it should
Yeah,
count.
a
Pointy
Dean-
as hell, and it's
Dean
Dean
ML
McCullough.
would be
That's
pointy.
the one I want.
I was like, that's as pointy as it gets.
I say, oh yeah, like a Dean Cadillac.
No, I'd
An ML.
I'd take a dime bolt without a doubt. That'd be
right.
my pick without a doubt. I hate Floyd
Thanks,
Roses,
Charles.
but I love Dimebag, so I'd take a dime bolt.
I would have to go 84 Jackson V with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles painted on it.
Ooh, that's pretty sweet.
Cool.
That's pretty sweet. Scott Ian would not be happy that you took his
What
guitar,
about the-
but that's pretty sweet.
Okay, well, I'll take one that says not.
Yeah, exactly.
My name's Scott, so
I see what he did there. All right, Crooks, what do you got?
Oh man, I don't know exactly when the gems came out. Probably a gem.
Gem would definitely qualify because
That
that
would
could be the
qualify,
pointiest
yeah.
of all pointy guitars. Because it's
Yeah,
even
that
got the
was-
scallop fretboard and
what?
stuff, and you know.
I was actually considering
Eight?
buying one yesterday. Actually,
he came out in 88,
Yeah, waiting for that.
89.
I was going to say it was in the 80s that it came out for sure.
Yeah.
Right after he left David Lee Roth.
Yep. First 7-string production guitar.
That was the universe.
well, this was only 6, but
All right, so Scott, riddle me this: what would be the higher end version of my Focus?
The higher end version of your Focus.
Yeah.
That's the 3 pickup.
Yeah, single. It's an HSS.
Oh, I don't know. See, now this one is the 3000, and this would
Right.
be a Pacer Deluxe. I don't know what the 6000s. Maybe an Imperial.
Yeah, like whatever this body shape is, but do it like USA Custom Shop is what I'm
I
saying here.
Think
You
it
know what
would
I'm
be
saying?
the Imperial.
Like
Yeah.
I love this guitar.
I love this. This is the best guitar I've ever played in my life, and I've played thousands of guitars.
So I wouldn't necessarily say a Focus, but I would like that attention to detail of the full, you know, like
What's-
the US equivalent of this.
What's symmetry picking?
Oh, I made my call. The Dimebag.
Oh, you and I are on the dimes. Okay, perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ML killer guitar. I like.
Although Dean Cadillac would definitely be in the running.
I would, if I had to play a Dean, I would pick the Explorer myself. But I don't know. I'd love a Destroyer too. Those things are killer too.
You have to be super fucking metal in order to pull off that Dean headstock, though. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I am way too 90s grunge and alternative to get away with it. But
Yeah,
God, I love
there
Dimebag.
was a time I did rock a Burn Stash for a couple of years. I figure I'm playing a pointy guitar in that band. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't remember that. I remember you with the Epiphone Les Paul.
Yeah, in a Burn Stash.
Yeah.
I shaved here.
I do.
Yeah, I could.
I do remember you with like no shirt on and a leather vest.
No leather vest. Never wore a leather vest.
What was
Hairy
that?
chest. No leather vest.
Were you in a vest at one point?
Leather
No,
pants.
that was chest hair matted with sweat.
Holy
Leather
Christ.
pants.
That's disgusting.
That's
Leather
nice.
chest.
yeah, that's
one of the-
definitely pointy.
Yeah,
That's one of the Korean ones.
that's
I've played one of those. Who's Joe Heide? He's like, hey, have you ever played one of these? I'm like, no. And he had a hardtail one. I was like, well, that's pretty sweet. And
Oh,
I
if
dug
you're
it.
gonna go, but if you're gonna go pointy as hell like that, you better Floyd it. You
Oh,
just have
yeah.
to.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say you're gonna put the block on that, but you already have a block on that. So.
It's got all the parts.
Yeah, I got them all in this one too.
Yeah.
So.
It's got all the parts. That's why I don't know. Like, yeah, like I'm already pretty damn lucky in that fact. I found this basically at the flea market thing. And
Did you change the pickups in that?
There was absolutely 0 point because somebody had put a Duncan JB in it before I
Oh.
bought it,
Nice.
and then I was shocked at this. Sounds more Stratty than my Strat. These two single, I was like, I love these single, and they're basically a Duncan designed single coil, so a non-branded Duncan at the time, and I dig them.
Those ones have the big bar on the bottom.
What big bar?
They should have a bar magnet on the bottom where they're not,
I don't know.
individual pole pieces.
I've never had them out because that would just involve scratching my guitar, attempting to either take them out or put them back in.
I was gonna say, you've watched his videos on the bench, right?
Oh yeah.
I was like, if he attempts to open that guitar up, it may never close again.
I've got I've got funds set aside to buy him a real soldering iron.
Dude, tell me something. Is it painful or funny watching Ben with that soldering iron that's like plugged into the wall like a fucking extension cord?
Well, I've been there, so it's like, I don't know.
It's an uncomfortable funny is what it is.
Yeah, it brings back uncomfortable memories of being stuck with that.
Well, and the other thing that cracks me up, and I was busting his nuts for this, the last time he soldered and managed to get a pickup that doesn't work anymore, did you notice he was like putting the solder on the tip and like balancing it and bringing it over and just like painting? And I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Don't you have a flux pen, Ben? I swear I saw you had a flux pen.
I have lots of flux. I just never use it.
You just never use it.
No, I have multiple things of flux because I keep buying more flux thinking I must not own flux because I never use it. So I buy more. And it
Should I make a how to solder video?
Container of flux that
you should totally make a how to solder video. Start with the solder flows to the heat.
Yeah, put the solder on the part, not on the iron.
And then bring the heat towards it, and guess what? It's gonna melt. Don't put it on the tip and paint with it.
You can put a little on the tip to start it.
Yeah, to tin it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I used to do it that way, guys, and then I realized...
Like, I laughed my ass off because he's like you'd think that he's like paying by the solder usage because he's like, I unsoldered the cord. Now I will use the same solder that's there. Heaven forbid I put new solder in here, reheat it.
I think the thing
I haven't soldered for over 40 years, and I still know better than that.
I think the thing that pains me the most is watching him try to hold the wires, and it's like, Ben, go to the drugstore or the hardware store and spend $2 and buy a thing of blue tack.
And tape the fucker down, yeah.
Just stick it. It's blue tack. You can't burn it. You
painter's
just stick
tape,
it on. No, not painter's tape.
You're talking the gummy stuff.
Yeah, the gummy stuff.
Yeah,
that stuff will save you so much trouble.
I was thinking that's too advanced. I was thinking that's too advanced for him. I was going to say painter's tape. At least it'll keep it in one spot, and then he can. But you're right. The tack works perfect.
You've got the kids over all the time. Hand them a stick of bubble gum here.
Yep.
Chew this for me for a minute.
Now spit it out.
It works.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap up things. We've been going 3 hours. I'm not sure what's up with Edwin tonight. Like, you said you were leaving an hour ago. You keep saying you're leaving, and now you're considering me apparently a DB. Thanks. Appreciate it. But you hung out the whole show. Appreciate that.
What's wrong with Ben? Why come he's a DB?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
you mean why is Ben Tom one? Because he's in recovery?
I thought for sure he was talking about you, and it was because he watched your soldering skills. And then I was like, now it makes sense. But now I'm lost again.
Never owned a leather vest. If I owned leather pants, never owned a leather vest.
Did you have a vest at one point?
Never wore a vest on stage. Sleeveless shirts, yes. Unbuttoned sleeveless shirts, maybe.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm picturing. Could be. I thought it was a vest.
No, I wear sleeveless
straps.
Yeah.
No. No, nylon straps.
Oh man, let's give you a razor.
Tiniest, littlest vise. But
it's
got some weight to it. Use that to clamp things and hold things still. That's my one set of third finger.
I use hemostats.
I've got some of those somewhere too, but I couldn't find them.
I use
very little metalworks. I've done very little welding. It was a long time
I use helping hands, so then I just clamp the sons of bitches in there, put them where I need them, move the arm where I need it, and then it's like.
Yeah, I do that too if I plan shit out. But come on, where's
Well,
the fun in that, guys?
There's no fun. That's not entertaining.
I
You keep
am
the feeling in your fingertips. It's
I
the
am
fun.
kind of disappointed that you haven't soldered your own hair in like 3 videos.
Well, you just wait because
Well, wait till he puts that DiMarzio in there.
Oh,
That's true. That's true.
That would be terrible. Ben
It's got
leaning
5
over.
wires too, so he's gonna have to figure that
sounds
out.
good, Martin. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, folks. I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. I appreciate everybody that's on camera, that was on camera, no longer on camera. I appreciate Zach for just trying to get on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Zach.
you know, he was the Randy Crooks of tonight's show. Right, Randy? Last time.
Yeah, he was.
I just realized that the last time I popped in
Thankfully,
was
Terry
when
bailed me out on
Randy
that.
couldn't get in.
Yeah, Terry and Aaron build you out last time, yeah. Which is fine. That's fine. That's fine.
It
So,
happens.
yeah. So thanks everybody again that tuned in. Appreciate helping me celebrate 1 million views on the channel. Appreciate each and every
Here's
one
to
of
the
you.
next million, dude.
Yeah, to the next million.
Next 9
To the
to
next
fast.
million.
Or maybe 3, 4 times as fast.
100 billion views.
Yeah.
2 million? 2 million?
Thanks again to the Mod Squad, for helping out. Perfect. Thanks. Back tomorrow night with Terry doing Canucks with Guitars, live Q&A. So have some Q's and we'll try to have some A's, I guess. I don't know. Oh, what do we got to do tomorrow? Oh, yeah. We'll hopefully be on time. I got another. You remember last week, Terry, how things were later than usual, but I just happened to get here? Well, we'll see, right? Weather dependent. We'll start again.
Oh, God.
So I may or may not be home in time to start the show on time. So, if you're in the chat waiting for us to start at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, either make sure you have the bell rung, all that settings, and then you can dip out and dip back in, or just chat amongst yourselves till we show up. That's always an option. Thanks everybody that donated tonight. Always appreciate it, definitely. And shout out to the patrons and the channel members that have been helping me along this journey. Some of you are double dippers. I'm not going to mention any names that may or may not be on screen with us or anything like that. Anywho's, thanks everybody on screen here, because you guys are all brother types and such. I don't know where I'm shedding all of a sudden. Apparently, so
He's like a little
shed
kid.
all-
Ooh, shiny object.
pretty much.
Maybe that maybe spring is coming.
That was literally me trying to do an unboxing video and the live unboxing at the same.
I watched it. It was funny.
I knew you
It
would.
was
I knew
awesome.
you would really love that.
Yeah.
Ben is part raccoon.
Just wrapping up, Brad. Yeah, and Brad will be joining us tomorrow night. Great, that's right.
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
Guitar
big
Miller,
announcement,
Brad.
giveaways and all kinds of all that. Great, those things. Great.
Those things.
If you wonder when I point at, you should have been watching at that point when I showed it off earlier.
You gonna
Until
close
next-
some doors for people?
Hold them open.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna hold
Where? How about we get stuff ready to do the outro for once? That without this, or do we do this style? We'll do a different outro tonight. How do we do that? Do we
Should have a special million splash. 1 million!
and that should be the picture of Ben in a leather vest.
Click the one on the left.
Ben in a
Once
leather
again,
Speedo. Yeah.
thank you everybody that tuned in tonight. As we wrap things up, we've gone 3 hours and 3 minutes. So, as you say, I don't know. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
If I had an ass, I'd shake it.
You would. Cheers, folks. Rock on. Be good to each other. Hold those doors open. Let her in ahead of you in traffic. Because just let Doug's wife in ahead of you in traffic because she's real. How about that? Just do it and be kind. Don't litter. Yeah.
Does Doug's wife drive a gazebo too? Because if so, I'm never gonna have to let her in.
recognize the Chevy hat